which has got a lot of people excited. As well as that, we've got the whole card stacked, in all fairness. We've got like Jericho MJF, we've got Christian Cage against Kenny Omega. Like all the big names are out for All Out. They are going all out for All Out. So big pay-per-view this weekend. I hope you can join us for that. We will be watching it. I don't know what the thumbnail is going to look like. I don't know how it's going to be worded, but we will be live during it and we will be doing it. Of course, we have to wrestle with copyrights and all this kind of thing, but it's not that we do anything wrong. It's just that they can hit you without, like, accidentally. Like, they've got a bot, basically, that goes out and just starts dishing out copyright strikes and everything. So you just have to be, like, super careful, which we are. But we just have to be extra super careful. So, yeah, Sunday we're going to do that. Saturday we've got UFC, and it's on early. Don't get caught out by UFC this weekend. It's early. So, UFC's early. On Saturday, we've got on Sunday, AEW. There is football as well. England play on Sunday. So, we've got England in the day, and then the wrestling on the night. Saturday, we've got just UFC, but it's on earlier than normal. Friday, we've obviously got SmackDown. Tomorrow, we've actually got an England game over on the football channel. So make sure to join us for that. And Wrestling Escape Pod. And I think a members stream as well. So there's plenty coming up. So, yeah, there's absolutely loads going on at the moment. So I'm in the process of trying to get my head around what we need to do, what graphics I need to make, what streams I need to set up, all that kind of bits and bobs, all those things. Wrestling Escape Pod tomorrow. I've just had an email from Tommy. I think that's looking like it's going to be 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I think Wrestling Escape Pod will be at 11 tomorrow. So I think we do the football, then we do Wrestling Escape Pod, and we'll fit in member stream whenever. So, yeah, that's why I haven't set it up yet, because I'm in the process of trying to figure out how the day looks. So, yes, there's things going on. Big news, of course, as well. We just need to step away momentarily from I don't know why I did that. I've never done that before. We need to step away. I think it's because I'm watching The Walking Dead and there's, like, a deaf person that's come in now. So I'm seeing, like, a lot of, like, hand signing, so maybe that's come from there. So we're going to step away now, guys, from AEW, and obviously just touch on the news that NXT is going to be produced by Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. The internet wrestling community is in tears. There's lots of tears everywhere. This is the end of NXT as we know it, and lots of heartbreak. But, I get it. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit more like Raw. It's going to be a little bit more like SmackDown. It's not going to be the NXT that people know and love. But I do also think, though, that it does make sense. I mean, rather than Vince getting a hold of someone from NXT and then changing them, he can kind of get it right down the first time in developmental. So I do understand why they're doing it. I think that it's going to make it a bit better connecting this NXT to Raw and SmackDown. And so I get it. I don't necessarily like it. I don't think, though, to be honest, this version of NXT, I just think it's definitely taken several steps away from the NXT I fell in love with. Like, this NXT right now, I don't love, but the one that was on the WWE network, I loved. I loved that NXT. So, I suppose in a way, for me, the NXT that I know and love died a long time ago. Since it went on to the USA Network and it went to 2 hours, I think its soul died then, to be honest. I think once we lost fans, I think as soon as we lost the fans at Full Sail, that was the final straw. Because then those NXT shows in an empty Full Sail were awful. I wasn't enjoying them. And then we moved to the Performance Center, and that wasn't really working for me either. It's been an improvement, and as I said, I like this. I mean, when I tune in on a Tuesday, I don't hate NXT. We've given it some good scores, and there's been some good matches, and like Zoe Stark, I really like her. And there's a few people that have kind of come through. So, yeah, I don't hate it by any means, but I don't love it. I don't love it. So I don't think I'm feeling the loss like the internet wrestling community is, because I think for me it's not the same as it was since it left the network. But no denying that it's going to have a change now that Vince and Bruce are grabbing the reins. And I suppose in a way, even if something isn't as good as it used to be, you always hold out hope that it'll get back there. Now with this, you kind of know it never will. I wonder if this is like really good news for NXT UK though. Do you think more people will tune into NXT UK? Because there's no word that Vince has got his hands on that. So that could be the new NXT. You know, a really cool brand over in the UK. Oh my god. What if we've got the new NXT over here? What if, like, the new NXT is in the UK? And, like, now NXT is going to become Raw Light. They might rename it to Raw Junior. Baby Raw. They might call it Baby Raw. And then, so you've got Baby Raw over there, and we've got the proper NXT over here. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Imagine if they never touch NXT UK and they just leave it as the wrestling brand, and it's just a really cool wrestling show. And then Volta can live there forever. That would be amazing. And maybe Ciampa will come over because he doesn't want to go to the main roster. Oh my god, this might be awesome. Days, Asuka told us why she's been off TV without telling us with that picture, saying she got new teeth and her teeth got knocked out 6 months ago, and in the picture, her arm is in a sling. Evening, Days, I listened to a podcast today saying if Vince was to sell, it's not just down to him, but the shareholders having to agree. If they don't, he would be stuck with the product, says Kevin. I think he's got majority power, so he's definitely got the majority say, but yeah, I think that's probably right. I think a decision like that, he wouldn't have complete say. He keeps selling shares, so he is the owner. He is the top guy. But yeah, he has sold shares and lost a degree of power. I honestly don't know, though. A decision that big would need the shareholders involved. But ultimately, he has final say. So that's interesting. I don't know quite how it works, because I know that I'm sure he still retains, like, I don't know the percentage that he owns anymore. He might own something like 45%, but everyone else only owns like 2%, so he's got like the big share, but maybe because it's only 45%, he needs a few more people to be on his side. But in all fairness, some of them people might be like Steph and Triple H, who would back him, so I'm guessing he would be alright. If he wants to do something, I'm fairly certain he can still do it. But, yeah, you know, when they keep selling off these shares and whatever, that's what they're selling. They're basically selling their part of their control of the company. So, interesting. Joaquin said, at least NXT will feel more like a third brand. Brian said, well, I don't know if that's true. I mean, apparently Vince wants to make it developmental, so I think what he's trying to do is make it a little bit more in his vision, because I think we all know that Triple H's vision of wrestling and Vince's vision of wrestling are very, very different. So I think that what they're trying to do is, I think Vince is probably getting a bit frustrated, to be honest. I think he's probably looking at NXT and seeing a perfectly fine product, but a product that doesn't really bring in that many views. You know, I mean, on a Wednesday night, it's bringing in 550,000, 600,000. I mean, that's 3 times below Raw. Now, there's many reasons for that, and I think if this was more popular, if this was bringing in 1 point something million, then maybe he wouldn't touch it. But it's not. Is the bottom line, and we know that ratings are very, very important. You know, if the ratings for Raw were to fall, then there would be change. It's so crazy. There's so many people that don't like Raw, but the simple truth is, if we were to all stop watching and the ratings were to absolutely fall, you would then get the change that you want. Like, that's how you bring about change. That's how you send the biggest message, because ratings are still important. I know that, like, viewing habits have changed and everything, so the ratings are lower than they used to be, but those TV deals are everything to WWE. So if they don't get to renew those TV deals, they're in big, big trouble. So the ratings are still super, super important. So, yeah, I kind of think that NXT, what with now being, I mean, before it didn't matter, did it? It was just on the WWE network. It wasn't considered a third brand. It was just developmental. Now it's had to kind of pull its own weight. It's failed. It's not doing any kind of numbers that are all that impressive. And as a result, like, I think Vince has looked at it and he's seeing the kind of people that are coming out of there. And I think there's quite a few short people, small people that he's probably not like that crazy about. And then some of the giants he's got a different vision for. So in all fairness, like, I can understand Vince looking at it going, this just ain't working for me. This just ain't doing it. Like, they're pushing like the wrong kind of people. They're not the kind of people that I want. I want the next big stars. So he's probably looking at, you know, Ciampa that's clogging it up. Johnny Gargano that's clogging it up. Adam Cole who's clogging it up, although apparently he does see a lot in Adam Cole. And, yeah, I think he wants the Odyssey Jones. I think he wants, like, the bigger guys, the Parker Bordeaux's, the Gable Stevensons. I think he's looking for that. Whereas the indie scene hasn't really had that. So I think he's looking at playing a bit more of a hands-on role in regards to the recruitment of it. And then I don't know how much he's going to book it, in all fairness. I mean, he's a busy man. I don't know how he's now going to book their developmental. But who knows? Maybe he'll get the ball rolling. Maybe he'll get it going a certain way, and then he'll bring someone in that he trusts. Obviously, he trusted Triple H, but I think Triple H was allowed a degree of freedom that then took it in a slightly different direction to Raw and SmackDown. And it's just difficult, isn't it? It is difficult. I can see all sides. Like, Triple H wants the cool, credible wrestling show, and there's an audience for it. But then Vince wants it to be developmental to provide talent for Raw and SmackDown, which it is, but he was then having to make changes because it wasn't quite in line with what he wanted. So, we said it's got an identity crisis. We've been saying this for so long. Is it a third brand? Is it developmental? What is it trying to be? It kept falling in the gap in the middle. It didn't quite know what it was, and it just wasn't really satisfying anyone. So I think, you know, Vince is looking at it now going, right, we can tidy this up. He's taking control of it, and I mean, it is a shame because it does mean that it's going to change now. Undoubtedly, it's going to change now. But there could still be some good stuff that comes out of it. I wouldn't worry too much that there's going to be full-on silliness. There might be some. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This relaunch just got a hell of a lot bigger, though. I think we can all agree that. What do you think Triple H feels right now? Sadness. I wonder what the future holds for Triple H. Like, I wonder what he's going to go on to do. What is next for Triple H? What does Triple H go on to do now? Haven't heard any rumours or anything. You know, could it be that he concentrates on NXT UK? Could it be that he concentrates on different part of the business? I mean, NXT has been his baby from the start. Like, he must be devastated. He might also be a little bit relieved as well, though. I'm guessing he's devastated. He might feel a bit defeated, but I'm guessing as well that he's going to feel maybe a little bit like, because I should imagine that was a grind. That war against AEW on a Wednesday night, you know, I would imagine that, you know, they were like having to do some hardcore, but that was a full-time job. Like, he was basically like Tony Khan, like going up, booking the show every week, getting it out there, putting it onto USA Network. Like, this wasn't a little show that doesn't really matter about on WWE Network. This is going out like on USA. It's going out around the world. I'm watching it on BT Sport over here in the UK. So, you know, this is a product that's going out around the world. So I think there was a lot of pressure. And I think that I think the writing was on the wall when they told him who they were letting go and, you know, all this kind of stuff. I think the writing was on the wall once, like, the war was lost with AEW, really. I don't think the ratings have been strong enough to... I don't think they've been quite where they've wanted them to be. And, yeah, I think, you know, let's see. Tidy it up. Let's see. I think even hardcore NXT fans would say it needs to change. I don't know there's anyone that's watching the current product thinking it's perfect and there's no problems. I think that there are issues, and I'm kind of down for a refresh. I'd rather a refresh with Triple H still in charge, but I'm sort of down for a refresh. I kind of feel like there is a fair few things that they need to tweak. Football Talk said, congratulations on the YouTube advert. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I know it's a YouTube advert that is doing the rounds at the moment. Something to do with, what are they called? Super Chats. And they were desperate, man. They were really desperate to use that clip. I ignored the email twice that they sent. So, yeah, they actually had to get onto one of my streams to contact me, to get me to give permission. So I haven't seen it. But I've had a few people getting in touch saying, like, it looks really cool. So that's brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Jason said, I've been subscribed for 5 years. Have you really been subscribed for 5 years? Since 2016? That's amazing. Shout out to you, Jason. That is, so that must mean that you stopped by in, like, the September of 2016. Wow. It's a long time, man. We only started the channel in January of 2016, so you've pretty much been here throughout it all. So shout out to you, Jason. Appreciate the support, dude. Right, let's go down. Let's see what people are saying. Days, stop kidding yourself. Vince has took over NXT for Triple H, so Triple H can train for his match against AJ Styles. It's all adding up. It is all adding up. What's up, Days? What do you think about tonight's show? Tonight's show, we got CM Punk promo. We've got a Jericho, which will be good. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting. Jericho interview, final touches before All Out. That'll be fine. FTR versus Santana and Ortiz. I'm into that because there's that nasty gash that, they were kind of selling the idea that they don't know how much more FTR have got in the tank, which is a bit weird. So we'll have to see what gets said about that. But that's definitely got me interested. I don't know about this. Elite versus Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. Now, my problem here, I don't think they're doing a good job at all with letting us know what the Lucha Bros are. Are they heels or faces? Like, it wasn't that long ago that Penta had that translator and he was being a douche. And I don't know, I can't quite figure out what they are. I'm guessing this means that they're faces if they're teaming with Jurassic Express to take on the Elite. But this is a real problem that I've got with Lucha Bros. Like, I know what the Elite are. Straight out heels. Annoying AF. Get it. Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy's amazing. Luchasaurus. A little bit green, maybe. I think he's been wrestling for quite a while, actually. But he doesn't tend to get, like, too many solo matches. And when he does, they can be a little bit clunky. But still looks great. It's a great package, all of them together. Jurassic Express. Super over. Totally get it. Lucha Bros, I have a problem with them. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. So, I mean, Penta and Rey Fenix, I know they've got a lot of supporters. People really enjoy watching them wrestle. It's not my style of wrestling that I really enjoy all that much. And I don't know if they're faces. I don't know if they're heels. I kind of think they could have been built up better. So, that match, a little bit torn on it. Tay Conti against Penelope Ford. Might be alright. Orange Cassidy against Jack Evans. Might be alright. Those two kind of feel like they could slip onto like AEW Dark. But, yeah, so a bit of a mixed bag. I'd say the first three things, really into. Elite versus Lucha Bros, Jurassic Express. Could be fun. And then the other two matches, I don't hate them. So that's what I've seen announced. There's probably a little bit more than that, but those are the ones that I've seen announced. So it looks all right. Considering it's a go-home show, it looks all right. Andrus Burgess says, I think Vince killed Triple H's vision. Triple H should go to AEW. That would be quite a surprise, wouldn't it? That would be quite the surprise if there was an announcement that came out that said Triple H is all elite. I think that would raise a few eyebrows. So I can't see it personally, but never say never. But I think you can say never on this one, in all fairness. Austin said, there's only 3 matches that I can see from All Out that are hard to call. Heather said, I am a Lucha Bros fan. I am wearing my Penta shirt right now. Burn It Down said, have you thought about the copyright issue with All Out? Have I thought about it? Yeah, all I do is think about it, about what to do with it. I mean, we're streaming it, and I'll find a way to do that. I'm not overly focused on it. I mean, we'll just find a way. How many potential injuries between the Luchas and the Young Bucks, says Unbroken 1010. Baldy said, what do you think will be next for Volta? Well, I mean, I no idea. I mean, what's next for anyone in NXT with this whole big change to NXT? I don't know what's happening. So until we get clarity on that and we see exactly how people are being used and, you know, what's happening there, I don't know. Because to be perfectly honest, I doubt they know. I mean, Volta could very much just stay in NXT UK. I mean, I don't know. If he doesn't want to work in America, I mean, the NXT door could be closed to him now. NXT could go back to being developmental in the sense of it's not a brand for people to come in and have a few matches and have a bit of fun and then go away again. It's a brand where people learn and get ready for Raw and SmackDown. And if you don't want to be on Raw and SmackDown, then you can't be on NXT. They might bring in the occasional star to give it a bit of star power and to put some eyes on it. But that, I doubt, would be Volta, to be honest. I don't think Volta's bringing too many eyes. If you put Volta on the show, it didn't move in the dial. He's just an incredible talent. So I could see them bringing in like a Cesaro and people like that. I mean, that's what they used to do with the old NXT. They would bring down people from like the main roster to give it that little boost of star power. So we could definitely see more of that. With Vince being involved, I think that becomes very, very realistic. So what next for Volta? I think he goes to NXT UK, and I honestly wouldn't know any more past that. Calm Via said, Days, I just watched all the seasons. Now I'm waiting for the new episodes on season 11, Walking Dead. Yeah, I just said on the football stream, actually, that I've been reading the Compendium, which is the collection of comics for The Walking Dead. It's only £18 on Google Play, and you get 49 copies of the comics, 49 comics, basically, in one big book. But obviously, because it's on your phone, it's super easy. So, because I was, like, toying with the idea of buying the Compendium, but then I'm like, when am I going to read that? And when am I going to lug a book around? But it suddenly dawned on me, it's like, you don't have to. Don't have to. Just get it on, like, Google Play, where it's £18 for the first collection. And that's a quarter of the comics made for £18. So I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. I was reading the first part of it last night and really enjoying it. It's largely the same as the TV show, of course, but there are slight changes, like people live longer, and some of the characters they use on the TV show are actually meant to be different characters, and things along those lines. So I'm quite down for reading the comics and seeing how it differs. So yeah, I'm loving Walking Dead. I've worked through a few more episodes this week, but as we get closer to the weekend, that has to stop because my weekends are rammed. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are busy days. Whereas Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can sort of find a bit of time to watch an episode or two. So yeah, I'm loving it as well. NXT rating 717 according to Brian Alvarez. That's high. That's high. I wonder how many of those are tuning in to see the change. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about NXT. There's been a lot of the new logo being shown. And, yeah, I wonder how many of them are tuning in thinking that it's changing and that it's going to, you know, there's a lot of hype. I mean, make no mistake about it, that first week when the new layout launches and the new logo launches and people now know that Vince is running the show, that's going to get some good views, man. That's going to do really well. They could get up to like 900,000, 1 million, something like this. Like, it could be really, really good because it's going to have, obviously, people watching. and it'll be interesting to see who they use, what it looks like, the layout of it, the structure of the show. It's going to be really, really interesting. So that first week when it does properly launch, I think it'll do some good numbers. And the rumours are that's a couple of weeks from now, about 2 weeks from now, we should be ready to go. I borrowed the Walking Dead compendiums from the library, says Jim. Oh, that's clever. That's clever. Libraries? Didn't even think about that. Daisy, are you a fan of Harry Potter? Not really. I'm a bit too old for Harry Potter, in the sense of when it was like everyone was reading it, I was already like past that. So it's so weird. It totally passed me by. Totally passed me by. I don't know what the Half-Blood Prince is, right? But I think that whatever one that was, I remember the book coming out, and that was probably the first time that was it that one? I can't even remember. But if I had to guess, I'd say Half-Blood Prince was the first book. But I don't even think it was now. I haven't got a clue. It just really passed me by. I have watched the films because they've been on TV, and I got made to watch them. They're alright. I mean, I don't know. They're not my kind of thing. They're alright. I can see why people like them. Thoughts on tonight's card? It looks stacked. I think Darby features in the Punk segment tonight, says Daniel. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag for me. I kind of just went through it. Punk promo is going to be great. Jericho interview will be interesting. FTR versus Santana Ortiz, I'm looking forward to. Elite versus Lucha Bros, Jurassic Express. I said I've just got an issue with Lucha Bros because I don't know if they're heels, I don't know if they're faces. I kind of think that I don't really get emotionally involved in their matches. Whenever I watch the Lucha Bros, like they just tend to like bounce all over the place, and I don't find myself like really getting sucked into their matches. I remember they had a really good match against the Young Bucks. And I think, like, probably, honestly, I probably prefer them when they're singles. Like, I probably would prefer Rey Fenix as a solo star, rather than being in that tag team. But, so it just makes it hard for me to, like, care about that one. But I understand they've got a lot of fans. I understand they're very good and skilled. And I understand people will be excited about that. And then we've got Conti against Penelope Ford. Yeah. And Orange Cassidy against Jack Evans. Yeah. So, yeah, bit of a mixed bag for me. But it's a go home. And it certainly doesn't look bad. Certainly doesn't look bad. So, we'll see. We'll see what they've got. Football Talk said, Days, no football stream this week due to international break. We did one earlier, buddy. Over on the football channel, we did Portugal versus Ireland. Tomorrow we've got England, and Sunday we've got England. And then the week after we've got Premier League back. So, yeah, there's football streams. Lucha Bros versus LAX in Impact was a classic, says James Chadwick. Ben said, how are you? What do you think of the thumbnail for All Out? Look good, yeah. I think that's definitely the kind of thing we're going to need to look at. So, yeah, very good. I was impressed. Daniel said, Lucha Bros are faces they've been involved in with Pac and Andrade feud. And Andrade is trying to turn the Lucha Bros on Pac. It's not hitting with me personally. I think, as I said, I remember like Penta with that translator. I kind of always find Penta to have a bit of arrogance when he's doing his Sierra right in the face of people. Like, he doesn't really come across as like much of a face to me. I mean, maybe they're not supposed to. Maybe they're meant to be kind of tweeners that are out for themselves, kind of walk a line. Do you know what I mean? Like, they do whatever they want to do kind of a thing. They're not really faces. They're not really heels. But I always find that if they're in the middle, unless they're like really cool, like say Stone Cold or someone, just don't really care about them. Just don't really care. So don't know. It's as I say, I keep saying they've definitely got their fans. I definitely see they're skilled in the ring, but I think if you don't feel that kind of connection, then it's just hard to care, isn't it? I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I found your channel in WWE Kids magazine that I bought in the shops. Please 200 PLN. Shout out to you. Yeah, we've been doing stuff with them for a long years and years and years. I do love those guys. So I always have fun doing that review video. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Harley said, Days, I worry WWE are just going to have Cena do a dark match next Friday at MSG and that's it. They did tweet that they would be there a month ago, but I'm worried it'll be a dark match. It could be. Could be. And we haven't seen him since, so it might be a bit weird putting him on the show. But, I mean, in all fairness, would it bump the rating? Cena fans, John Cena says. John Cena, I don't know how you'd do it. It could be a dark match. It could. Days, what members of the Elite will we see? Well, I'm guessing it's going to be... Wow, that's a good question. In my mind, it was going to be the Bucks, Kenny, and... someone else, maybe Cutler, but I suppose it could be the Good Brothers and the Bucks. But I would imagine, would Kenny get involved? Kenny, I suppose, is building up for his feud with Christian Cage, so I suppose the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks would probably make the most sense. So maybe Kenny's not involved in it. So maybe it'll be Good Brothers and the Young Bucks. Days, do you think with Vince taking over NXT, we'll see main roster talent mixed in? Yeah, not much. I mean, I think that just once in a while you'll have someone go down and do something. I think it'll be very similar to how NXT was at the start, would be my guess. So yeah, I do think that they'll. I think they know that by leaning on unknown talent, unknown people. Bigger guys that people just don't care about, you're going to need to put some star power down there. So, yeah, I think if you have, like, a decent main event, that might help draw some people to it. We'll have to see. But, yeah, almost certainly, I think there'll be some names that get roped in for the relaunch. Days, if Triple H went to AEW, Vince would make Stephanie get a divorce, says Johnny. I think it has been advertised as being the Bucks and the Good Brothers, says Thomas Morehouse. Ah, interesting. Days, I love the Lucha Bros. I don't get Dark Order, though, for some reason. Ah, that's interesting. You see, I do get Dark Order. You see, Dark Order, for me, are just like the comedy group. I think I didn't get them until Brody passed away, and I started to see what they were doing on Being the Elite. On Being the Elite, they're really funny, but I didn't know that because I don't watch Being the Elite. So I think since I've seen that, and I know they're now like a little comedy thing. In all fairness, they should definitely have them do some little backstage comedy stuff on Dynamite so that it gets that across a bit better. But, yeah, at the moment, they seem a bit directionless. They were kind of doing a story with Hangman, and was Hangman going to join them? Was he not? Then he did. Do you remember on Dynamite when they asked Hangman, will you join? And he said no, and they had it prepared. He said yes, and then, like, the balloons are coming down, confetti, and there's clowns, and they're having to, like, usher them away. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. That was great stuff. That's the kind of thing I'd like to see the Dark Order doing more of, like trying to they could have milked that, trying to get Hangman to join. That whole Hangman story just got dropped, didn't it? Really, I don't even know. Is Hangman even? I don't know what's going on with Hangman. Is he even on All Out? I mean, I don't even know what he's doing. It's Christian Cage against Kenny, isn't it? So yeah, I don't even know where we are with that story at the moment. So, yeah, I do get them, though. I mean, if they're going to do the comedy thing, which I think they should do more of on Dynamite, then I get it. Being the Elite is much watch if you're a wrestling fan. It's good, and it's only about 15 minutes, says CCSYT. Jonathan Green, Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs is tonight, says Daniel. Amazing, inspired. What's this? Oh, okay. Williams saying that he's feeling amazing and inspired. William Hensey, shout out to you. They were great with Brody on Being the Elite with the papers. Yeah, the papers were funny, man. Again, never saw that, but like where he would like get the rolled up paper and be like hitting them with it. It's just funny. It's just really good stuff. So I definitely see a way forward with the Dark Order if they were to continue doing that kind of thing. Hangman Page is on paternity leave. Thank you, Angry Miro. Spike Hunter said Hangman's wife is having a baby, so he's taking some time off. Right. So I think that means that like maybe the Dark Order have just been pushed to the background as well, momentarily. But hopefully when he comes back, we can be up and running again. Dark Order story at the moment is that Hangman says he needs to go alone and then got attacked by the Elite and Uno and Grayson, stopped Silver and Reynolds helping him, and now they're all falling out. Daniel, shout out to you. James said, I watch enough wrestling as it is I don't need to be watching Being the Elite as well. I was almost certain you was watching Being the Elite as well. I thought you was on absolutely everything. I mean, you must have like alarm clocks just going off because now you need to change the channel to the next thing. Like every hour the alarm goes off because it's a time to watch a different wrestling show. There is just a lot out there, isn't there, at the moment? Raw is trash, says Mr. Meme. CCSYT said Adam got dropped from Being the Elite at the same time that Bray Wyatt was released. I watched Dark Order story. We were up to date with that. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in AEW then at the moment. And there's a lot that you've got to try and keep tabs with. I think that obviously the focus is at the moment on All Out and the people that are going to be at All Out. So that's what we're obviously developing on this show. But really, it's CM Punk, isn't it? I think CM Punk is the highlight. CM Punk coming back for his first match against Darby Allin. That's what the wrestling world is focused on. I do think All Out's going to do big numbers. It could even break AEW records, which I think is to be expected. I do just worry that some of the hype around CM Punk is already starting to settle down. But, they've got so much that they can do with him and get out of him that I think he's going to have been well worth the investment. So I wouldn't worry if you was like a hardcore AEW fan. But, yeah, and obviously, Daniel Bryan on the way as well. He might come at All Out. I'm not sure. Might make his debut there. Or at the Arthur Ashe Stadium show in New York. He might make his debut there as well. So I've heard conflicting reports on that. A lot of people thinking he'll be at All Out. I'm starting to wonder if he'll be at Arthur Ashe. Maybe at All Out they'll just have someone like Ruby Soho. Maybe I reckon they'll have someone. But maybe it'll just be someone like Ruby Soho. Because in all fairness, you wouldn't really want anything to overshadow CM Punk's first match back. I'm sure that is, what they're looking to really get eyes on. So if Daniel Bryan comes back, the talk will be about Daniel Bryan. I think I would want, if I was Tony Khan, I would want people talking about CM Punk still. I'd want people talking about CM Punk's first match. So I think I would probably save Daniel Bryan for Arthur Ashe Stadium, so... what part of All Out should Bryan debut in? I'm presuming he'll be a face off Kenny to close the show. He could be. I mean, as I said, I personally think I'd wait for the Arthur Ashe show. So I don't think I'd bring him in at All Out. But if they do, then I don't know. We've seen them before where they just say they've made another sign-in and an announcement. If there's going to be an announcement that they're going to make it All Out, then I think that'll end up being Daniel. Kevin says, Days, why do you think Buddy Murphy was choosing Impact if it's to be believed, he would be a dead cert for AEW. I don't know that he would be, would he? I mean, surely they've got to be getting to the point where they're having to now be very, very selective with who they bring in. It's believed that Bray Wyatt might be on his way to AEW. And obviously they've got Daniel Bryan going there, CM Punk's there, they've got Andrade, they've got Miro, like, they've got, 3 hours a week on network TV? It's only the same as Raw. So I know they've got Dark and I know they've got Elevation, but they're just tucked away on the internet, on YouTube. So I don't know, where would Murphy fit in? He might think that if he goes to Impact, he can be a big fish in a small pond. So he might be thinking that way. I'm not watching AEW tonight as I've got college that I hate just as much as Raw. Kyle said they've got so many new people in AEW. Think of all the super pops that we're going to get. Days, I can't believe you watched football instead of Coronation Street. Here we are. They're going to have a women's battle royal, and Ruby Soho could be the surprise entrant in that. I hope so. I really do like her runaway videos that she's been doing. I don't know if you've been seeing them on Twitter, but they're really good, really well shot, like properly like movie stuff. So they're really, really good, those runaway films. So yeah, and she comes across great in them as well. She was walking down an alleyway, and on the wall it said "The riot is over." Which I thought was kind of cool. So, yeah, I really like her. She was someone that I always thought should have had like a title put on her. She had a few title shots in WWE, but for whatever reason, they just didn't seem to ever want to pull the trigger on her. I don't really know why. She had such a different look, which I thought was very marketable. Different to what anyone else had. But I suppose in a way, like that tattoo kind of punk rock look, you could say is Rhea Ripley's kind of identity now. So perhaps with Rhea Ripley's ascension, they decided they didn't need Ruby Riott as well. So I don't know, it's always hard to know exactly what they're thinking, but that could have factored in. What would you do if you had a chance to talk to Mr. McMahon? That's a really good question. If you could talk to Vince, what would you say? I suppose you'd want to ask him why sports entertainment and not more sports oriented. Why sports entertainment and not sports focused? Why is it that we've got dripsticks and stuff like this? What numbers is he seeing? I suppose you'd want to have that conversation, wouldn't you? And has he ever thought about doing like a wrestling brand that's just completely off at the side, that has some star power? You know, like a brand for Cesaro, a brand for Adam Cole, a brand that's on network TV that is not where you get called up from. And, you know, maybe put the WWE Championship there. Put the WWE Championship over there, and then on Raw and SmackDown, you could have the Universal Championship and the Galaxy Championship. How about that? Wow. You could the Milky Way Championship, and move the WWE Championship to like the wrestling show or something. Would he ever think of doing that? He might turn around and go no, because NXT was something like that, and the ratings were awful. But you could counter and say, but it didn't have any star power. You know, it only had Finn Balor. It didn't have anyone that was going to bring the eyes to it. And then he'd go, shut up, and start crying. And I'd be like, oh, come on. Come on. You're trying your best, aren't you? So, yeah, I think there'd be loads. That would probably be top of my agenda. Why are you going so sports entertainment? Why can this not be, like, storylines where the conflict resolution is done in the ring? You know, why can't we have more storylines to get our teeth into that's got a few twists and turns? You know, watching The Walking Dead, it's been a while since I watched a TV show, and watching The Walking Dead, that urge when you get to the end of the episode of, do I go to bed or do I watch the next one? You know, when you're watching a really good drama And it's like, oh my God, do I go to bed or do I watch the next episode? And you're having to debate to yourself of what you do. And you're like, oh, I can't wait to see where this story goes. There's a brilliant bit at the moment where, I don't want to ruin it, so I won't, but there's a bad guy, right, in The Walking Dead. And he ends up sticking around for a bit. And he is now going face-to-face with the new bad guy. So we've got these two bad guys, two heels going up against each other. But actually, the one bad guy, the old bad guy, he's kind of slipped into being a face now. So now it's like really interesting dynamic of the big bad guy is now facing the new big bad guy. And it's all kind of really interesting. And it's like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode. How's this going to play out? And how's this going to work? So I never get that with WWE. When I get to the end of Raw, I don't know about you lot, but I go, right, get your scores. Do you know? When do you get to the end of Raw and go, oh my God, I have to tune in for next week? I have got to tune in for next week. How is that going to... Oh, that is so crazy. How is that going to... You never get that. And why don't we get that? Why don't we ever get that? I don't feel like I really get that on any wrestling show. But I wish wrestling was more that way, where the storylines were so interesting and there were little twists and turns, and then like next week we finally get the match. And obviously you're gonna have to keep doing things and regurgitating stories and whatever, because wrestling never ends. It doesn't have seasons. But so you're gonna have to be very clever with how you do it. But I wish there was a promotion that was more like that, where it's like, oh my God, I can't wait for next week. I can't wait to find out how this story is going to go. Instead, it's just rematch after rematch. It's just a couple of matches that you don't really care about and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to sit them down and go, why can't we be more... You want to be... You're bringing in these TV writers, which suggests to me that you want to be more like that. It suggests to me that you're not bringing in wrestling fans. You're bringing in TV writers. So you must want this to be like a TV show. You must want this to have TV storylines. So why doesn't it? Where are the storylines? Like what's going on? That's what I'd say to Vince. I'd ask him, you want it to be like TV, but why is it not like TV? Why don't we ever get to the end of an episode desperate to see the next week's episode? So, yeah, I'd have that chat. I'd want to know why it's sports entertainment and not sports orientated. I'd want to know why the storylines just aren't deep and complex enough and all this kind of stuff. I mean, eventually he'd just tell me to leave. But I'd get a couple of questions in anyway. Brian says, Brian has apparently been changed to All Out due to COVID in New York. Oh, what? Daniel Bryan is now going to be at All Out. AEW announced today that the Arthur Ashe show, you will need to be double vaccinated to attend. Days, do you think Anna Jay will return at the Battle Royal? I honestly don't know. I don't know the latest on her. I don't know how long she's been out for and when she's due to come back. So she's not someone I'm all that bothered by, to be honest. So she's not really on my radar. But I would be very excited to see the Iconics or Ruby Soho. I don't know they'll throw all of them in, but cause that might be a bit OTT. But yeah, either we get the Iconics or we get Ruby Soho. Dalmar said, Days, when do you think the tides will change as AEW wrestlers start leaving for WWE? I think that we will get there as the roster starts getting bigger and more bloated, and people don't. You need to get to the point where people don't feel they're being used right or utilized. The only thing I would say is at the moment, if they go and speak to Tony, I think Tony will make an effort to use them to find a way. But like, say Joey Janela, don't get too much of Joey Janela on TV, do you now? So Joey Janela could be feeling quite frustrated. And honestly, if WWE wanted him, I don't think they would, but if they did, then they could, have a word, see when his contract's up, and try and get Joey Janela. So I don't know. As we get as more people come in, then the people that aren't being used are going to be bigger names. Some of them will have been at WWE before, so WWE might not even want them back. I think WWE are looking at what works for WWE. I don't think they're looking at just taking talent for the sake of it. So, I think that AEW talent will want to leave when it's not feeling that it's being used right and utilized properly. But it's hard to say when that will be. But I think AEW do a good job of looking after their wrestlers. And I think that if one was to have a problem and go and speak to Tony, I think he would make a serious effort to make sure they were feeling valued and feeling utilized. But it will just naturally become so big that it's very difficult to do that for everyone. It's very difficult to do that for everyone. So, there will come a point, but I don't think we're anywhere near it. Who was the woman with Joey Janela on Dark? Does anyone know? Asks James Chadwick. Marco says, you only need to be vaccinated once for Arthur Ashe. Oh, hello, we got some fake news. Fake news being spread in the chats. Fake news. Andrus said, I think the guys WWE would want would be like Hangman, MJF, Jungle Boy. Yeah, and they're not going to be not used, are they? I mean, the CM Punk's coming in to work with Darby Allin. MJF's the leader of a group. Hangman's only out because his wife's pregnant, the chat's saying. So, yeah, I kind of feel that a lot of the talent they would be interested in, you're absolutely right, is the talent that AEW is using anyway. So it's probably going to be a long time till AEW has got so much talent that WWE would even want, rather than the talent they've largely released themselves. It's probably going to take a while to kind of build that up, but they'll get there, definitely. The future's really bright for AEW. Days, are you excited for Roman Balor this Friday? It's going to be a technical masterpiece. I'm glad we're getting deeper into the family stuff, and Paul Heyman is brilliant. I always look forward to SmackDown, and I think Balor is the person I would like to see beat Roman. So I think I would like this match to be really close, and I'd like it to be like a good half an hour long. I want it to be like a real special TV match. Do you remember how AJ and Daniel was in that Intercontinental Tournament final? And it was like a classic and everyone was loving it. I would love Roman and Balor to be that way. Ultimately, Balor falls short, and I want Balor to be really disappointed with himself. I want Balor to be quite hard on himself, to be quite down and, frustrated that he didn't do better. And, I'd be really, really interested in exploring that, because then Balor will have to bounce back and then, be vicious and build back up. And eventually I'd have Balor be the one. I am definitely copying Volta and Ilya Dragunov, where Dragunov wrestled Volta and failed and then came back and won the title. So I'd be very tempted to do something similar with Balor. Either way, I'd definitely have Roman retain on Friday. Could you see Strowman, Murphy, and Ruby Soho as a faction? It was slightly teased. Could I see them as a faction? I suppose. Yeah, I can't see why I couldn't. So, yeah. I think Murphy and Braun could be a really interesting tag team, actually. Ruby could be their kind of cheerleader, valet. I would say manager, but she needs to wrestle herself. So, I suppose in a way they would be a faction. They could have a few singles matches, work as a tag team. Ruby could go and try and dominate the women's division. I could see you could get something out of that. Yeah, I could see that you could get something out of that. I don't quite know what joins them, though, because, I kind of feel like they're all different people from different backgrounds. The only thing that connects them, really, would be WWE. So, unless you're going for, like, an outsiders thing, but I don't know I'd choose them to be the right people. So I think why would they be together? Unless they would say, we used to hang out a lot, and maybe show that they had a connection that way. Because, like, I don't know that Murphy's into the same music that Ruby Riott is. I don't look at Murphy and think punk rock. I mean, I look at Braun and I think, like, heavy metal kind of stuff, like heavy rock, which I suppose would vibe with Ruby. But, I don't know, aesthetically, like, the optics don't quite work. But I'm sure you could find a way. The only thing that would connect him was that they'd be fired on the same day and hired on the same day. Yeah, you could use like him as an outsiders kind of a thing, like WCW with Hall and Nash. But as I said, there's so many people in AEW that have come from WWE. I don't know if those three are the three that work. But I wouldn't be against it. I'd just see how it goes. I'd just watch it and see how it goes. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. So I wouldn't be against it. Matthew Lopez says, have you seen the new Fiend Funko? Yeah, was that the Christmas one? Is that the Christmas one? If it's the Christmas Fiend Funko, then yeah, it's glow in the dark as well, apparently. So bit weird that they're still releasing it, but I suppose they have these things planned in so far in advance. And I don't know when they start like manufacturing them. If they've got like a load already made or about to be made and it's too far into the process to cancel, then I suppose it's not too surprising. Days, Nia has injured Bayley, Becky, Ember, Zelina, Alexa, Kairi Sane twice, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and Charlotte. I think she's too dangerous, says Harley. Daniel said, did you hear Punk's reasoning for picking AEW over WWE for his return? It was about the young talent, and the other was how well the AEW staff and roster kept Brody's health quiet. Yeah, that's cool. That was really cool. I mean, for that to be going on and for it to just completely not leak out at all, I think that does speak volumes, actually. I think that because it would be really easy for anyone to have spoken and for that news to have come out. So I think that does actually speak volumes about how close the working relationship is between everyone, the respect that they all have for each other. So yeah, I think that is an indicator that things are really good, really positive behind the scenes. Days, I will be in the chat. I wouldn't miss it for the world. No worries, Edward. Kevin said, Days, is it true Anthem Network that owns Impact Wrestling are richer than the Khans? If so, why not splash out and get a stacked roster? The thing with, I mean, I don't know if that's true, but the thing with money is that a lot of it doesn't actually exist in the sense of you can't just go out and buy things because, you know, I've said this about the Khans before. The Khans own the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars are worth $3 billion. So that means that the Khans, because they own it, are billionaires because they own an asset that is billions. But that doesn't mean that those are billions that they can spend, because they would have to sell the Jacksonville Jaguars to have those billions. So they own something that's worth billions, but they don't have access to the cash. I mean, could they use that to go to the banks to get some money? I'm sure they could, but, you know, this is what we're saying. Like, just because people are worth, what you're worth isn't necessarily the money that you have to spend. Because they own Fulham. Fulham's worth, I don't know, £5.50. So they own Fulham, they own Jacksonville Jaguars, they own AEW, they've got like data companies, they've got all these companies, and it all builds up to building up their personal wealth. But the amount of money that they've actually got in cash flow that they can go and grab to spend on bringing someone in, you know, this is what I've said before, AEW will have a budget. It will have a budget, and they are businessmen. Now, I'm sure that they have access to money, and AEW's budget is whatever it is, but it's not a never-ending fund. Like, they are business people. If they expect over the next few years AEW to generate X amount, then they're obviously naturally only going to work to a budget within that level. They might want to spend a little bit more, of course, than what money, they might accept, all right, we'll make a loss on this over the next few years to set it up, and then ultimately it will repay us. So they're going to look at how much they think they can get in from AEW over the next however long. They'll then work out a budget that they think kind of, is in the ballpark. If they end up making a loss, they'll make a loss, but they ain't just throwing millions and millions at this and just throwing money away. So, yeah, I mean, even if Anthem do have, loads of money, it's probably tied up in stuff. And I wouldn't even know how much accessible money they would even have. Plus, also, they're on a certain network. If they can't get to a bigger network, then Impact is only ever going to get so many views, which means it's only going to make so much money, which means that you're not going to want to lose against that. They could be losing anyway, but at what point do you draw the line? Because don't forget, the Khans got where they got because they're really smart, really savvy business people. They understand the business world. Not going to just throw money away. And even if they see this as a pet project, even if they see this as a hobby, a bit of fun, something like that, they're still not going to throw millions and millions and millions away. They're looking at how this can make money. Tony Khan is reporting to his dad and is going to be, giving him business update. His dad ain't going to be interested in this wrestling company. His dad is going to want to make sure that it's turning a profit, that this is still a positive part of the portfolio. So, yeah, I think there's a lot more to it than just, they've got billions, let's go and buy all the great wrestlers. I mean, there's obviously a degree of that they can do, hence they've gone and got CM Punk. But there are limitations to it as well. And I have without looking at their finances, I'd have no idea as to how much they've got at any given time to go out and actually spend, or even what they're willing to spend. So it's close to impossible. I mean, if someone's a billionaire, then of course they're going to have more money than if they're just a millionaire. But as we said, a lot of that could be tied up in other things anyway. It's tough. They book New York for Daniel, then he's not even going to be able to get there with COVID restrictions. At least we will get him 2 weeks early, says CCSYT. Blake says, pray for me. I'm in the tornado areas. Yeah, I hope everyone's staying safe. I've seen some of them storms. They look really, really bad. Really bad. So, yeah, I hope everyone is staying safe. That nasty one, was it Ida or something? That was on the news over here. It's quite rare for us to be shown American storms. So that one must have been exceptionally bad. So yeah, I hope everyone's staying safe. James Chadwick said, nearly time for all elite brawls. Indeed. 2-minute warning till Dynamite flies, doesn't it? That little hour that we do before, it always goes so quickly. So yeah, we are absolutely flying tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got the football over on the new football channel. If you are a Premier League fan, we are over there doing things over there. And now we've got Dynamite, SmackDown coming up, and of course All Elite this weekend, along with a really tasty, can we just say how amazing the UFC show looks on Saturday? A lot of UK stars on that card. This is the card that would have been in London. So Darren Till against Derek Brunson. I'm seriously looking forward to this weekend's UFC. So starting a bit earlier than usual though, so don't get caught out by that. I keep mentioning it, but yeah, it's starting quite early this weekend. Days, what would the wrestling landscape be like if Tony and Shad Khan decided they wanted AEW to close down in 5-10 years because they're not making a profit? Honestly, it would depend on the losses. If AEW in that time is going to be losing a lot, then there is a chance they will shut it down, yes. So this is where just buying loads of people is not the right way forward for AEW. This is also why Vince has been probably quite happy to drip out the talent, force up their wage bill, give them a few headaches. I mean, Vince knows the wrestling business really, really well. Of course he does. He's been in it since 1980 something. So, and even before then, he was working for his dad. So I'm sure he had access to numbers and anything before that point. So he's got like a lifetime of knowledge of the wrestling business and how much money it's generating. And of course, the world has gone through a massive change with the internet and social media. And I don't think WWE have been brilliant at embracing or utilizing social media. They've built up their following. They've got a massive following. But I think like the power of what AEW has been able to achieve with things like being the elite, you know, and like the Young Bucks changing their bios, it's a lot more personal. Like AEW do a really, really good job of making it feel like you're part of a family, and I don't think WWE have been able to do that. They're too big, really. And like, there's too many different departments, too many people doing different things. It does feel like AEW is quite small and like behind the scenes, and they're able to make it feel like a family. So I think that you know, AEW have slipped in. They've you know, really taken to like social media. They're using it really, really well, and I think that they are growing and building. But yeah, I think that they are they have to make a profit. They have to be profitable, or making only a small loss. If it's a big loss, then this little pet project could get wound down in a few years' time. But we're a long way from that. Tony Khan's a good businessman. I've got no concerns about his business acumen, and I think that the decisions that he makes will be, you know, with a view to the long-term future as well. I don't think he'll fall into the trap of taking people for the sake of it. I don't think he'll fall. I don't think he's going to FOMO. I don't think his fear of missing out on people, you know. But now, I mean, we must be getting close to the point where he's going to start, you know, maybe Murphy isn't someone he's looking to bring in. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Murphy is like someone that normally you'd go, yeah, he'd be great for AEW. But maybe right now Murphy is like the first victim of Tony Khan now really looking at his roster thinking, I don't want to spend anymore. I really don't want to have to spend anymore. Which honestly would be wise. It would be wise. And if they even cut a few people, it would be wise. These are the hard things that you have to do in business. It's not all it's not all hiring and sunshine and rainbows. Like, you have to balance the books. But I really don't think AEW are too worried about that at this stage. Right now, Tony Khan is building and seeing what he can get and where he can get, and just, I think, writing off losses. I mean, they must be making losses. They must be making losses. They haven't been able to get any ticket money in. So I have to think that they've been making losses. They haven't got that many deals with people. If you think that WWE is like, think of the size of WWE shop. Think of like the cards that they sell with Tops. Think of the figures they sell. I know that they've got figures, but you can't tell me that AEW figures are outselling Mattel figures. So just think of all the money, all the relationships that WWE has got. The TV money, the Saudi money. Like, AEW just doesn't have that. Just doesn't have that kind of income, so I've got a feeling that it is making a loss. But I don't think Tony Khan really cares at this stage. Right, we are underway with FTR versus Santana and Ortiz. And Santana and Ortiz have come out with their faces painted. Pretty standard, just the white face. Going Go said, Days, I noticed that WWE turned off comments on CM Punk's highlight YouTube videos. Do you think they did that because he's now on AEW, and is that childish? No, I don't think it's childish. I think it's understandable. I mean, if you put a video up because you want people to see CM Punk in WWE and what he did there, you know, I think that's understandable. There's a lot of talk about CM Punk at the moment, so you might as well get some easy views from it. So I get why they got the video out there. And I would imagine all the comments are like, if you want to watch him now, watch AEW. It's just free adverts for AEW, isn't it? So I don't think it's childish. I think it's understandable. They're not there to promote AEW. If you've got the option to turn the comments off, why not do it? I would understand it if it was the other way around. You know, say Hangman gets upset has a massive falling out with with Kenny and everyone, and he's like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. And he leaves and goes to WWE. It never happened, but just say it did. You know, AEW could put a video out with Hangman's best moments, and honestly, if the chat was all WWE fans saying, you can watch him now on Raw, you can watch him now, I don't think it'd be childish for them to turn their comments off. It's just looking after your business interests, isn't it? So, nah, I ain't really got an issue with that. Shout out to Nightmare's mom. Shout out to you. Certified Hustler said they got too many complainers that left WWE, OVW, and other promotions with AEW. They want to be top guy, and that's why they left WWE. Watch what happens. Too many complainers that left WWE, OVW, and other promotions now with AEW, and they all want to be the top guy. Right, I've got what you're saying. So you're saying that there's a few troublemakers that might have gone to AEW that all think they're maybe bigger than they really should be? It's a fair comment. It's a fair point. As you said, we'll see what happens. I like Santana and Ortiz. I think they're a really good tag team. FTR as well have always been a lot of fun. So this is a really good match. I'm down for this. The comments that they made about Cash and his arm really got me invested in this. I don't like the face paint that Santana Ortiz have got. I don't mind it looking a little bit worn, but the one dude, is it Ortiz, looks a little bit like a panda. Tony Khan has announced that Andrade versus Pac has now been cancelled from All Out. Oh, that's a development. That's quite a development. Wasn't expecting that. Santana and Ortiz have got a bit of a Gorillas of Destiny vibe. The Pandas of Destiny. Hodge, burn it down, said, big up every time you do a stream. They're great, never disappoint. HOJ, burn it down. Shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support, man. Appreciate everyone joining us for this go home AEW Dynamite show. And nice clothesline. Hard into the corner goes Ortiz. Got Tully on the outside. Hard into the other corner. Pandas. Panda. It makes me think of that song. Was it Designer? Panda. That was about, that's probably about 10 years old now. 8 years old, something like that. 8 years ago. It's been a while. Panda. That was everywhere, that song. I forgot this was the go home. It's the go home. What's wrong with pandas? Nothing. I just don't like seeing them wrestle. I'm gonna call, like, animal welfare. It's all FTR at the moment. All FTR right now. It's just KJ. Shout out to you. Standing on the arm. Dax Harwood stomping on the arm. Yeah, winding down, grinding down. Look at that, really working the arm. Do you know, I mean, FTR, it's such a shame. I mean, they are such a fantastic tag team. I think it's difficult for them on TV, really, FTR. I think that they are a fantastic pay-per-view group. They're really good when given, like, a good chunk of time without, like, commercial interruptions. Like, they will give you a great match. But that it can be difficult for them to kind of, you know, because they like to wear down on a body part, and they like to, just took the turnbuckle off. Yeah, they like to wear down a target, a body part, bring a bit of drama and psychology, and that takes time. Sometimes you don't get too much time on TV. Right, he's got the arm wrapped around that exposed turnbuckle. Santana gets dropped down by Dax. Hurling him into the corner. Big forearm strike. Drop kick. Designer was kind of a one-hit wonder, says LSW. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't really follow up with anything else, did he? Well, not that I'm aware of. I listened to the start of the new Kanye album. I only got 2 tracks in. I was like, oh my god, this is rubbish. The first track is just a woman going, Donda, 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 Donda. Like this. I was like, alright, I get it, Donda. And then it went to, I can't remember what this next track was called, but again, it was just like, oh. Perhaps I need to skip that one as well. Perhaps it's just like a 2-track intro or something. But I was like, no, this hasn't grabbed me. I don't know if anyone's heard Donda, and if it's any good. Face paint is from the movie Dead Presidents, says Esteban. Suplex. Do you remember Pandas sued WWF? They did, yeah. Maybe this is shots at WWF, reminding them of the WWF. Yeah. World Wildlife Fund. Shots fired, guys. Shots fired. There we go. We've got going up top. Oh, frog splash. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out by Dax. Days travel issues have cancelled Andrade Pac. It's being pushed to a episode of Rampage. Donda was a satanic album, says Adam. This is a decent match so far. The first 4 or 5 aren't great on Donda. Oh, interesting. Donda was the name of his mother, and it's said in the way of his mum's last heartbeat. Yeah, I know it was his. I know it's his mother's name. I didn't know he was saying it to the sound of his mum's heartbeat. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of art for the sake of art, really. I mean, if you want to do that, that's cool. But you should go into a banger straight after that, then, because it didn't grab me, and I turned it off. It's no good making an album if people aren't going to listen. Panda Wrestling Federation is better than Raw. The whole album is a bit weird, and I don't really like it. I saw someone trying to convince people to say that Kanye is in the Illuminati. I heard, right, I know that we're getting a bit distracted if that happens. I heard someone listen to it before. Blue Tick, I can't remember who it was. But they said, I've just heard the new Kanye album, and he is spitting with venom over beats that are just so, that are light years from the future. And as soon as I read that, I was like, oh my god, I've got to hear this. Kanye spitting with venom over beats that are like from the future. It's like, it just sounds amazing. And then I get Donda, 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 Donda. Like all stuff like this. I'm like, oh my god. Fair play to his mom, who I believe passed away, and all that. But the track straight after that wasn't doing it for me. I don't know. What I might do is just wait to see what tracks people are buzzing about, and then just go to those. And maybe that'll be a better way into the album. Shoulder up. WWE Ottawa Senators Dean Ambrose jersey. Days, what's the better match? Volta versus Roman or AJ Triple H? Volta Roman. Volta Roman's the better match. So I don't know what Triple H can do anymore. And I know what Volta can do. I saw it the other week. And I know what Roman can do. So you're talking about two people in their prime. Built right. Untouchable. Oh. Skip the first 5. Ortiz with a shoulder up. So we're still rumbling away with this. 15 minutes into the show. Not a bad match, this. Not a bad match. I was kind of looking forward to this one anyway. I like their ring attire. It's just a bit different. Black with like some colours going down like across. What's your favourite hip-hop album? Probably... Oh, it's going to sound awful, to be honest, but probably... I wish it wasn't, but probably Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. And the reason why I wish it wasn't is because it's so big and popular now that it's just a bit lame, to be honest. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was something like cool and obscure. But I really got into that the day it came out. I've said before, the day that album dropped, we only had 6 in the shop. And all 6 sold within like an hour. And if someone does that, it wasn't on our chart wall or anything. It was just in the pocket in the section, and all of them sold. And so when that happens, you take notice. Oh, yeah, you take notice, and so I bought it. Just bought it. I mean, it's like a $9.99. You got discount anyway, so. See what the hype was. I just loved it. Every single track was amazing. Loved it. Played it. It was my song. It was my album of the, like, I want to say maybe, was it 2012 it came out? It's probably a good few years ago now, you know. I actually saw him live at a festival in Poland. It's brilliant. So, Good Kid, Mad City is probably my favourite, but I mean, I do love B by Common as well. That's amazing. Tribe Called Quest. Low End Theory. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've got a win here. Santana and Ortiz get the win. Santana and Ortiz battle out a victory against FTR. Clean win as well. Wow. Santana and Ortiz, that's a big win. CM Punk up next. CM Punk coming up next. What is your favourite music genre? Probably 2.0. Probably like maybe like guitar, like punk rock, I suppose. I don't know. I'm a bit all over the place, really. I mean, I love indie kind of stuff. So like, you know, Oasis, Ocean Colour Scene, Blur, people like that. But then, you know, Radiohead, U2. I don't know. I'm all over the place because I really like Bob Dylan. It's one of my all-time favourites. Van Morrison. Paul Weller. Jam. I don't know. I think when you work in like an entertainment store, you get exposed to so much all the time that you just get into so much. I didn't really have loads of different music styles when I was growing up. There wasn't loads that I listened to. But, yeah, just being in the shop, you just put on anything you want. So you just listen to like AC/DC, Beatles, Metallica, Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, William Onyeabor, Fela Kuti. Just kind of go through like, I was even putting on like the BBC Folk Awards album, listening to that. They're amazing, you know. The BBC Folk Awards albums, you will definitely find some on there that you love. Some really, I mean, maybe not if you're like completely shut off and you're just only into metal music or something, but if you're a bit open-minded, they are fantastic. But yeah, just, I don't know. The great thing is that you'd get an album, and if it had an interesting cover, you'd just, I wonder what this sounds like, and then you put it on and just check it out. But I mean, like, loads of great dance stuff, like the Prodigy and Chemical Brothers, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that just likes one genre, is there? There can't be. Maybe there is. Maybe there's just people that only listen to classical. I don't know. Probably there is. But oh man, imagine shutting yourself off to like soul and not listening to like Stevie Wonder, or do you know what I mean? All that kind of like just amazing stuff there, or like maybe not listening to country, or I don't know. Just go wherever, really. Khan said it was due to travel restrictions. The Women's Battle Royal will feature now on the main show. Have you got CM Punk or Darby? CM Punk. Who's your favourite rapper from the UK? Skinny Man. Skinny Man's got an album called Councillor State of Mind, which he's got a track called F the Hooks, right? It's not called that, it's the word, right? No, F the Hook, yeah. Love's Gone From the Streets. Councillor State of Mind, Skinny Man. F the Hook is a tune, man. That is a tune. And then like he's got Love's Gone From the Streets as well. But the whole Councillor State of Mind is probably my favourite UK rap album from Skinny Man. I've never seen him live. I'd love to see him live. But that was another one. That was one that we had on a display. And it was like, finally, Skinny Man releases his long-awaited... I think it's his debut. I'm sure that it was like the write-up said long-awaited debut. One of the godfathers of UK hip-hop on the underground scene arrives with, you know, his debut album. And I was like, well, how am I not listening to that? Put it on, and it's just every track was like, my God, this is immense. So, yeah, I'd say that. But I think like what Stormzy's been doing has been really cool. But anyway, we can't talk about that because we need to talk about Captain Marvel Punk. Someone in the crowd going, ah! Did they not know he was here? Maybe, perhaps they didn't. Oh, cult of personality. CM Punk making his way down to the ring. AEW is overdoing it with Punk, says Jeremy. Cult of personality is such a good theme. First ever AEW trading card is available. upperdeckpack.com. They're saying E-Pack. I want that card. Getting used to seeing CM Punk again. Absolutely. The crowd is quite dead, says someone in the chat. Be cult of personality. All Out this Sunday, live on pay-per-view. We are gonna see. I mean, that's gonna be crazy, and it's CM Punk actually competing in a ring for the first time in. Right, big CM Punk chant. Let's see what CM Punk has got to say. JR said he's only seen someone get to this level a few times. CM Punk said, I could spend weeks or months just listening to Cult of Personality and feeling that love. There's a few people that get tired of it quite fast. He says, on Sunday, this could all end for me. I've not wrestled in 7 years. I'm nervous. Dare I use the word scared? You still got it. Yeah, I think he knows. Come on, he's never suffered with self-doubt. He said every time he's going to give his all. Oh. Wow, hang on. People are coming down and beating him up. CM Punk being attacked here by 2.0. 2.0. Ever Rise. Ever Rise. Ever Rise from NXT have gone from not getting onto TV to now attacking CM Punk in AEW. Wow. Stomping away. It's a cowardly attack. Right, they're pounding away. Here comes Sting and Darby. A brawl. We haven't seen Punk get beaten up in a while. Garcia getting thrown into the Punk dealing with... Look at Punk go. Look at that. Punk getting physical with shots in the corner. They're giving you a little taste right now, aren't they? No way is he doing a GTS. Oh my God, he delivers the GTS. Wow, a GTS from Punk. Been a long time since we've seen one of them. I wouldn't have given that away on free TV. Punk getting in the face with Darby Allin. I thought they had respect for each other. Why is there so much aggression here? Shouldn't he put his hand out? Like, shouldn't it be like, thanks for your help? Sting just walking around in the back. It's so random, isn't it? CM Punk face to face with Darby Allin while Sting just paces around in the background. It's some kind of like weird wrestling fantasy world. Some dude on Fight TV says, this looks like a drug deal gone wrong. GTS, I can't believe it. Sting said, I always wanted to share a ring with you. Oh my God, I'd love that match. Sting versus CM Punk. Much respect. Our paths never did cross. Sting said it felt really good to watch going to sleep happen before my very eyes. So where's this going? Where are you going with this, Sting? We don't want anything to stop this match. He said that includes me this Sunday. All Out. So Sting said it's going to be showtime for sure, and he's trying to get it across that he ain't going to interfere. He's kind of getting the message across that this is, you know, don't worry, don't think that Sting's going to be a factor. This is mano a mano. He said that he knows that Darby is ready. He knows that Punk is ready. So, interesting. Did a little something there. Did way more than I would have done. But, yeah, that's GTS. CM Punk with a GTS. Going Go said, I just listened to F the Hook. Oh, man, it's a tune. Let me introduce to you a brother that has been around for a long, long time. It's good. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Going Ghost. Glad you enjoyed it. It's quite an old track now, unfortunately, that one. But I think he is still touring and doing stuff. But I think it's still his only album. Sting versus Punk is a dream match that's actually going to happen, says CM316 Alt. I do love a match between Punk and Darby. It's a great choice of opponents, says Anna Heelbloss. Let me publicly as well just apologise to Anna. Things were said yesterday. I don't really want to go back over it, but basically it was insinuated that Anna was the only subscriber to Austin 316's OnlyFans, and that Austin 316 did pictures, especially for Anna, wearing nothing but a Tottenham Hotspur shirt and literally nothing else. And that's what she did in her spare time. And rightfully, you know, she was very disappointed. She made that known to me through, I think, pretty much every platform. I had a YouTube comment, I had a DM, I had a Twitter message. I think she got in touch with me on Friends Reunited as well, to say that there's absolutely no evidence to support this. And I must admit, I have looked into it, and there is no evidence to support that Anna is the only subscriber to Austin's OnlyFans, or that he does pictures, especially for her, dressed in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt and nothing else. So I said I would do it, and I'm doing it. I'm apologising on behalf of myself and the channel. Things were said with no evidence. We ran with something that, you know, I don't know that to be true. I don't know it to be true. I'm told it isn't true. So I want to make sure that everyone's aware of that. So I'm just doing what I said I would do. And that's putting it out there, so hopefully the air is cleaned now, and we can all move forward. Brony said Anna is probably confused right now. I think she's going to be relieved. I think she is going to be relieved right now. Now that we've got the message out there that she is not the only person subscribed to Austin's OnlyFans or the Tottenham Hotspur. He doesn't just, you know what I mean? Little gif, you know, like a little gif. Boop, boop, boop. Like this. Hey, Anna. Like that. That is not happening. What I just did is not happening. So, cleaned it up. Guys, I hope you've all learned a lesson here. If you spill milk, you've got to clean it up. Yeah? If you make a mess, you've got to clean it up. You've got to make amends for when you do something wrong. And this channel holds its hands up and said it did something wrong. But now we've cleaned it up. And now we can all move forward like adults. Moldy said, I saw an interview. This is right. We're moving on. I saw an interview of Volta before WWE. He laid into wrestlers who dance and act stupid and said it disrespectful to people like him who wrestle properly. How can you not love that guy? I do love that guy. Days, how would you know that Austin has an OnlyFans? Dude, do you know how many times he sent me pictures and links to it in the DMs? So, how about you do the math? If you spill milk, just remember, never cry. That's true as well. Shout out to you, Ronnie. Erectile Dysfunction said, I'm subscribed as well. Wow. So, can I just say, Austin, there's money to be made. That's all I'm going to say. There's money to be made. Let it be known that Days did click the links and leave a heart emoji on all of the images. Well, I don't want to go into all of that right now. I just wanted to clean up the Anna situation. Anna says, I would like to thank Days for the apology. Good. I'm glad we can put this behind us. Whew. I will accept apology. Good. That's all I was looking for. But also, the fact of this has cleared nothing, as he never retracted, so the war is on. No, I said I'm sorry, and I took it back. There was a full rewatch what I just said. I said I apologise on behalf of myself, and I apologise on behalf of this channel, and there is no evidence to support that what was said is true. That you're the only subscriber. That's what I said, and there's no evidence to support that. So, I've retracted it. Just no one go back and watch yesterday's. I can't even remember where it happened. I was on the NXT. No one watches the NXT stream anyway. Don't worry about it. If anything, there's more people here now, so we probably shouldn't have mentioned it at all. Right, we've got MJF talking at the moment. Not about Anna and OnlyFans and all that. Days, I bet you gave Austin so many views on his OnlyFans. I've definitely given my therapist a lot of money after seeing it. I can tell you that much. Right, we've got an interview with MJF and Tony. Days knows that Anna isn't the only subscriber because he's the only subscriber. Think about that. Wow, semantics. Very important. Very important. Could Adam Cole show up tonight? I don't think so. How many people are subscribed to your fans only, says CCSYT. Not enough. MJF going off here. He said, I'm going to have the privilege of ending one of the greatest runs in wrestling history. Right, there we go. So, MJF saying a few choice words. Great promo, says Brony. Adam Cole is getting ready to enter a triple threat with AJ and Triple H. Edward said, I think I've got something going on with my art that I am halfway through at the moment. Cool. Robert says, Heather, how are you, kind ma'am? Oh! I do love some flirting. I do love a little bit of flirting in the chat from Robert. Robert again. Robert always coming in with the hello, mom. Hello, madam. Fair play. Just brought up well. Robert brought up well. I thought that Max Caster was suspended for 2 months plus having to do a class online, but apparently he was on Dark this week. OC versus this dude. Jack Evans. Let's make this smaller. What would be a great Triple H retirement match? Him against Shane. I don't know, him against AJ would be good. But I'd love a big story. Big story. Him and Shane could work. If there's a good enough story in there. So it's like Triple H's place on the board. Like, his whole stake. Shane wants his whole stake. He doesn't want, when Vince leaves, Triple H to have any control. And so you do a match on that. So if you're not on the board, you need to know that you're out of WWE completely. You could build something really huge, man. You could do something awesome. That was always a match I think people wanted to see, with that kind of a stipulation involved. Jack Evans to the outside. Duck underneath by Orange Cassidy. Roll by Orange Cassidy. Against the ropes. Duck underneath. Round the houses. DDT. Jack Evans was so much better in Lucha Underground. Oh, do you know, I've never sat down and watched that, and I wish I had. I think I would really like it. I loved that arena. I thought it looked amazing, and it was just like this. It was so different. It kind of felt like this magic show from a different world. It's like, how are all these amazing wrestlers not in WWE, or how have we never seen them before? But they were just under masks and doing some incredible stuff. Obviously now, you know, we know who they all are, and they've gone on to do other things. But at the time, it was just amazing. 1, 2, shoulder up. Survivor Series should be Christian versus Omega versus Roman versus Lashley. Triple H versus Adam Cole would be good, and that story could be good as well, better as well. Yeah, that would be good. But now that Triple H has lost power of NXT anyway, I'm not sure what the story would be. But you could definitely do something. I'm subscribed to Football Days' OnlyFans. You should go back and watch it, says Brad. I don't know where to find it. I don't know where it would be. Days, Lucha Underground had too much spooky stuff for you. Do you know, I don't actually... It's funny. If the whole promotion is that way, I actually don't think I would mind it. My problem with it being in, like, WWE is that no one else in WWE has got super... Either they all have superpowers, or no one has superpowers. It's either everyone's supernatural, like Marvel, or no one's supernatural. Like, if I sit down and watch a Marvel film, I know what I'm getting. I'm not going to sit there going, these are all supernatural. All these alien babies that have grown up to be superheroes. Ugh. Like, I get what I'm getting into. But, like, with WWE, like, how are you ever going to beat someone that can, like, make rocking horses appear in the ring or make things magically appear? Like, how are you ever realistically going to beat them? Because if you pin them, then surely they can just make the lights go out. Referee won't be able to see. Like, the referee would only ever get to 2. 1, 2, lights have gone out. Referee can't count a third. Lights come on. They're outside the ring. Like, I look at it and think, you just can't tell realistic stories with that. Unless they promise to never use their superpowers in the ring. But if everyone's doing it and everyone's got some kind of, do you know what I mean, stuff, then maybe. I'd have to see it first. But I was watching, like, Ricochet when he was Prince Puma, and that was amazing. He was awesome. But I think it did get a bit spookier, didn't it? And, I don't know. Depends how they do it. Days, Team GB has got 30 golds, 24 silver, and 32 bronze. That is 86 medals. No mention of it whatsoever. No one is... Is it just me, or it's just not part of the conversation? Honestly, I forgot it was even on now. That's bad, that is. That is bad. That is bad. Well, it's great we're doing so well. Jack Evans in control at the moment. Ronaldo's transfer fee was 12.8 plus a potential 6.8 on add-ons. So 19.6 without wages. Papa Murphy, he's a pizza called the Combo Magnifico. What? What was that? Days, I finished my picture. Can you look at it? I will tweet it out. Yeah, I'll look at it. CCSYT said, I am 100% positive in saying Days would enjoy Lucha Underground. I saw Prince Puma. Prince Puma was great. I loved him. Loved the big guy. Mil Muertes, was it? He was cool. I mean, in all fairness, I only saw bits of season 1. I mean, that is literally all I'm judging it on. So it could get horrific and cringe and awful. I have no idea. But from what I saw, I was really impressed. But I'd need to watch a lot more. Orange Cassidy has won. I never saw a match end during picture-in-picture. Oh, was it? I wasn't at picture-in-picture. Matt Hardy's come down. Maybe it wasn't quite meant to end that early or something. Maybe someone did mess up. Did they really do that during a break? Maybe it's a mistake. Best friend's coming down. So Matt Hardy was in, and he was. More people are coming down. My God, what's going on? Yeah, JR's like, what the hell's going on? It's just constantly people running down to the ring. Orange Cassidy surrounded. Now here comes Jurassic Express. Days, I tweeted it. Okay. Best Friends and Jurassic Express. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, there's the art that Edward has done. He's been doing lots of pictures like that. It looks kind of cool. That's cool. I've retweeted it, Edward. I like it with that background as well. That's good. Did they tell the guy at the curtain, hey, get our song ready? Yes. Days, would you enjoy a Volteroni fans? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Did they tell... Oh, we read that one. Wait, why did their music play? Wait, why would Jurassic Express save OC? Because they're all good. They're all good guys. They're all BFFs backstage. Here's Miro. Right, Jim Ross is interviewing Chris Jericho next. In what could be his final fight. Meltzer on Twitter, McMahon and Pritchard will be behind the big decisions, not the little ones, and be behind the marketing, the promotion, and the direction. Their role booking may only be regarded those at the top. Interesting. Back from watching the Punk segment, it was amazing, says J14. Days, what do you watch AEW on? I watch it on Fight TV. God's favourite champion stays down only for his wife, says Lone Star Friend. Right, we are at commercial break. 10 minutes till we get to halftime scores. I think this has been alright. It's been alright. Don't forget, it is a go home, and we are just putting the final little touches on things as we build towards this Sunday's All Out. So I think definitely excited by Darby and CM Punk, but I was anyway. But definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, is Orange Cassidy got a match? There seems to have been a bit of a... is it Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy or something? Or are they building that for, like, down the road? Let's have a look. AEW All Out 2021. Matches. No Orange Cassidy. It's a bit weird. You would have thought they would have used that segment to have focused on something. We've got the Casino Battle Royal, Women's Casino Battle Royal, and there is 5 women to be determined. So we got the Women's Casino Battle Royal. We got Moxley versus Kojima. We've got Paul White versus QT Marshall. We got Jericho versus MJF. If Jericho loses, he must retire from in-ring competition. We got Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. We got the Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros in a steel cage. I didn't realise that was a steel cage match. Steel cage match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We got Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. And then CM Punk versus Darby Allin. I wonder what the main event will be. Wonder what the main event is. Do you think CM Punk will be the main event? Or do you think it would be Omega? It's either Omega, Christian, or CM Punk and Darby Allin, isn't it? What do you put as the main event? Like, how do you follow CM Punk's return? But equally, shouldn't the AEW Championship be the last match? Have they said what the main event is? Omega will main event, says Austin. Statlander is a better performer than Britt Baker, says Mr. Robot. It makes sense for Omega to main event, but in my opinion, CM Punk should be the main event. Did AEW book itself into a corner with Punk and Darby? I don't think so, because I think Punk can win, and, Darby doesn't lose anything, does he? Not if he pushes Punk to his limit, and Punk was to say, wow, in a few months' time, you're going to be right there. Or something like that, and just really put over that he's pretty much there already. And I don't think Darby loses anything. So, JR is doing an in-ring interview with Chris Jericho, and he says to Jericho, he is my friend, and I think he's made a bad decision, and I'm going to tell you and him why. Tell you what I really respect, I've got a lot of respect for, is that this is the go-home show, and there's a lot of people that are actually fighting this weekend that are not fighting tonight. I respect that. I really respect that. Jericho and MJF just doing interviews. Miro just doing an interview. CM Punk and Darby Allin just doing interviews. I don't think Kenny's going to be fighting. I don't think Christian's going to be fighting. We haven't got Britt Baker. We haven't got Chris Statlander. Pretty much everyone that's at All Out is not fighting tonight. And I've said that so many times. Why would you face the week of you being in a big fight. It just makes your fight at the weekend bigger. I mean, like, I'm very critical of WWE doing that, so I'm giving praise here to AEW for not having their people that are fighting this weekend fight on the go-homes. I can't wait for All Out. How much does it cost? I have no idea. It depends where you are. Alright, they're still singing. Chris Jericho versus Volta. Can we say thank you to AEW and Tony Khan for telling us that there was travel problems for Pac and Andrade? WWE would have waited till their songs were playing at the pay-per-view. Right. Welcome to Chicago is Jericho. He said, I usually don't say that anymore. He said, I started my main event journey in Chicago. And the man that recruited me was this man right here, Jim Ross. I wonder if this is the end for Jericho. AEW needs to just invest in better pyro machines. That was sad for Jericho, says Big Boy Dally. Brony said, I'm not paying $50 just for Punk. I'll look at the highlights. Watch day stream. Jim Ross just made the list. You just made the list. That was cool, man. He's had a hell of a career, hasn't he? Hell of a career. Right, they're chanting a naughty word. I think he sees a lot of himself in him. Is anyone going to go to watch this at the cinema? Yeah, so they're showing it at cinemas, aren't they? Which is really cool. That's really different. I think WWE did it with SummerSlam as well. But it's really cool, like, that cinemas are doing that. Maybe there's just, like, a real lack of, like, big movies at the moment because of the pandemic. There's not as much to show. So they're just trying to get whatever they can. But it's cool, innit? I reckon watching this at the cinema would be a lot of fun. Because you'd be in the cinema with, like, loads of other fans. I'd imagine people would dress up as well. And, yeah, I can imagine people having a really good time. I'd definitely go to the cinema to watch wrestling. I mean, it'd be a nightmare to stream. But, yeah, I'd definitely go. The one and only Lionheart. It's $25 at the cinema. That's a bit much. $50 at home, $25 at the cinema. I won't mind it. You could probably go with some friends. He said, I would always look in the mirror and know that you couldn't beat MJF. It would be the beginning of the end. Jericho says, I don't want it to be the end. I want more. So Jericho saying he doesn't want it to be the end. He wants more. So that's why he's got to take the chance. Youth and inexperience versus age and treachery, to paraphrase Jerry Lawler. That's good saying, that is. Jericho can't lose on Sunday, says Ryan. Are you going to WWE AEW shows in the future? Because I'm going to All Out. Wow. No, I mean, I'm in the UK, so it kind of really limits the shows that I can go to. But I would definitely be up for going to an NXT UK show. Definitely going there. If you want Jericho out of this ring, you're going to have to be the best you've ever been. He's talking right down the camera, looking right down the camera, cutting a really passionate promo. It's good, man. Jericho's always been a good promo. I think, I mean, MJF's a good promo, but I think Jericho's better. Sounds like Jericho's retiring. He looked like he was about to cry, says Jonathan. This is one match I can see going either way, says Austin. Are you not going to the house shows in a few weeks? No. No. No, I'd probably only be tempted to go to like a Raw or a SmackDown or something where I feel there might be something significant. House shows are fun, but in all fairness, we pretty much stream every night now anyway. So even Raw and SmackDown, I mean, if I did go to a show, we would not be able to stream some. I would miss a stream. If, in fairness, if I went to Raw or SmackDown, as long as I quickly get back to the hotel, it's always on, isn't it, before? So, if I could get back, but I mean, trying to stream in a hotel, I've tried to do it a few times, it's a nightmare. Because obviously the walls are paper thin. And, like, you're having to, like, watch something and like, right, guys, I'm going to have to whisper throughout this one. And you have to talk like this. And it's just a nightmare. Just got a Darby Allin promo at the moment. I really think that MJF is the future and is going 3-0 over Jericho. Gives something MJF can brag about for a decade or more, but I don't want to lose Jericho. Is this Powerhouse Hobbs? Yeah. Right, Powerhouse Hobbs. Coming to the ring by hook. Powerhouse Hobbs attacked from behind by Brian Cage. Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs. Brawl. I wonder how couples cope with those paper-thin wolves. Wolves? Walls. I bet they don't care. I love that black and white pre-tape from Darby. It's nice. Good promo. Don't do WrestleMania at a drive-in. Tried it in the early 2000s and the horns ruined it. We don't have drive-in cinemas here. I mean, I don't know if you have them in America, to be honest. I mean, I'm guessing you do, but in my mind, they're like little pop-up things. They're not like permanently there. They're like, I don't know, perhaps like during like a bank holiday or something, there'll be like a pop-up drive-through cinema or I don't know. Have you got like, do you know of like a place you can go to all the time for a drive-in movie? Because we do not have that here. Maybe there's one somewhere, but I doubt it. I've never seen one. Is there one? Do you know what? I'd be interested now. Is there a drive-in cinema in the UK? Drive-in cinema UK. Let's have a look. Do you know what? The number of drive-in cinemas in the UK exploded during the pandemic. We went from three in the UK to 40. There's 40 now. I wonder if they've gone again, though. I mean, they might. There are probably only like temporary things. Yeah, I mean that looks temporary. That looks the most temporary thing I've ever seen. I would show you, but I don't know if it will show it. It's kind of like in the ground. Can you see like a stately home? And what they've done is they've put like a big screen in their grounds. So it's not really a drive-in cinema because it's just all like temporary. But wow. I've got a drive-in cinema 5 minutes down from my house, says Brony. Was that your house? Was that your house? Wow. Brony living in a stately home. Amazing. 40? Yeah, but they're not going to be real. Well, they are real, but they're just going to be like temporary. I've never been to one. I've never seen one in the UK. Never known they've been a thing. The one in America is bigger. Oh, I don't doubt that. Brian said, we've got one 10 miles away in Milford, Massachusetts. There is a drive-in one in Kentucky not too far from me. Drive-in movie theaters don't exist. We have inside movie theaters now. Oh, is that the future? Inside movie theaters. I really like Powerhouse Hobbs's ring attire, by the way. I really like his ring attire. I don't like his boots, but I like his ring attire. Black singlet with flames at the bottom. Looks cool. But yeah, not feeling his boots. His boots look a little bit Rhea Ripley. Everything in the US is bigger, says John Ross. There was a drive-in a few miles that had the best pickles ever. So big and juicy. There's a big free agent signing. Tony said that there's some news of a big free agent signing. Oh. His boots don't match the attire. If it had some red or yellow on it, would be much better. Fiend in AEW. I don't think it can be the Fiend yet. It's got to be Daniel. You've got to think it's Daniel. Hobbs versus Big E would be epic. It's a Harlem Heat tribute attire, says Jay Swiss. Does look that way. Clotheslines. Big boot. Kick to midsection. Adam Cole. Bryan Danielson. Oh, I hope it's not Adam Cole. I just think he's got so much still to give in WWE. There's some absolute dream matches for Adam Cole, baby. Who else gets annoyed when they start singing Judas every week? Jericho's a better promo. That's controversy. Oh, I think he is. I find him wittier, funnier. I think he's got more experience to draw on. Yeah, I think Jericho's easily a better promo. Not even close, in my opinion. But MJF is a great promo. Plot twist, it's Michael Cole. Bray can't sign with anyone till Halloween. Spinebuster by Hobbs. Many new stars are coming to AEW. Tony Khan will bring them as storylines develop. What did you think of my art of Ronaldo? I don't know if I saw the Ronaldo one. I might have. They're good. They're all good. Just keep making them and tagging the people in. And another big signing. Might as well stop the Punk hype just as it started. You don't want to see Adam Cole join the Elite or battle the Elite. Yeah, I mean, that'd be good. That'd be... I do, but there's more things I want to see with him staying in WWE. Like, there's plenty of matches for him in AEW, but there's just more, and it's bigger. Like, All Out is like their big show. I mean, they haven't got anything at the moment. They're not doing big stadium shows. Whereas, like, Adam Cole at WrestleMania. I mean, WrestleMania is the biggest thing you can do. He deserves to be on that stage. I want to see Adam Cole in the Rumble. I want to see Adam Cole win the Rumble. I want to see him go to WrestleMania. I want to see him facing Roman and Edge and Seth and Finn and AJ. And there's just tons of matches for him. FTW Championship smashed in the face of Brian Cage. Planted. 1, 2, 3. Days, why don't they advertise for the 100th episode? I think because they're building for All Out. Maybe they just... Maybe if there was nothing going on, they would. But because All Out is such a big deal, they're just focused on that. Powerhouse Hobbs wins. Thanks to outside interference by Ricky Starks. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Watching AEW Dynamite. Hope you're having fun, bud. Did Punk come out? He did. Yep. He came out, said a few words, got attacked. It's a good moment. It's a good segment. I have been to a drive-in theatre in the UK. I don't like the indoor ones, says Adam. Right, here is... He said, hang on, didn't he say, let's hear these words from Lee Johnson? Wow, here's Malachi. I'm going to make you suffer. Okay. So we've got QT Marshall in the ring. And he's calling out Paul White. Heavyweight to heavyweight. Right, well, we've got Paul White making his way out, and he's called him out heavyweight to heavyweight. Because it's the heavyweights are going at it now, guys. Paul White and QT Marshall. Big Show, I keep calling him Big Show. It's going to take me ages to stop calling him Big Show. Paul White making his way down. There's, how many people in the ring? 6. And now they're swarming him and they're beating him up and he's trying to pound away and he'll... Oh, that big spot. Knockout punches. Cameron Walker, shout out to you. CCSYT said, this episode hasn't been anything special, but nothing bad. Nothing laughable like Raw. So I'm going to give it a 6.8. It's always so hard for me to know when we're at commercial break because I don't go to commercial break. It's very, very rare that I get to go to commercial break, so it does make doing the halftime scores very difficult. Reggie said, Days, you're the man. If ever you're in Chicago, first round of chocolate milk is on me. Come on! Yes! That is a date. That is a date. Definitely. I'd love to go to Chicago, actually. I'd love to go to Chicago. It always looks so fun, so much energy, and it's so vibrant, and the crowd are always so lively, and obviously we know they've got like Chicago deep dish. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Chicago and try a Chicago deep dish? So yeah, I'd definitely love to go. And now chocolate milk as well. Oh my god. It's going to happen, Reggie. It's going to happen. The Gun Club coming down. A little bit late. Better late than never, though, isn't it, Heather? Better late than never. Oh, no, now they've turned on him. Oh, it was probably better if it was never. Oh, my God. Better late than never, but oh. Unbelievable. Big Show's gone down. Paul White's gone down. QT Marshall. Big Show trying to get back up. Don't let him up. If you let him up, he's going to wallop you on. His scumbag sons. Wow. It's pretty much Paul White versus everyone. QT. Quasimodo. Solo. And now the Gun Club. A-hole chance. Why, Mr. Ass? Why? Guys, if you can't trust someone known as Mr. Ass, who can you trust? Who can you trust? Oh, my God. Big Show. Paul White down. Do you think Punk's going to put Darby over? I think it's a setup for Darby to turn heel. I don't know that I would turn him heel. I would have it as a war, a real battle, and I'd have Punk win. And I don't think there's any issue in Darby Allin losing that match. Not if it's super close and a great match. You just have Darby Allin come out after and say, like, he knows, now that he's been in there with one of the greats, he knows what he needs, the last bit that he needs to work on. He knows the final things he needs to do. And that's it. I mean, like, you pretty much got him there. In a loss, you pretty much would have Darby where you wanted him. So I ain't got an issue with him losing. I don't think that if he loses, that's it. Oh my God. Do you know what I mean? That's it. He's buried. I don't think that at all. Get in your scores. Get in your scores for AEW. AEW. At least it was Billy turning and not Paul. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Half-time scores plus 20 minutes. Austin says 7 out of 10. Come on, Austin, you normally write something a bit more sarcastic than that. You normally put my half-time plus 20 minute score. Half-time plus 18 minute score is what I was expecting from Austin. BBC is all elite. 7 out of 10. 6.5. 7, 7, 7. Hello, Hayden. Christian the King says 9. CCSYT says 7. Sergio says 7. J-Swiss says 7. Future Comp says 7. Oh my God, there's a lot of 7s. Did you all just get together and just decide 7 was the score this week? 3.6 says Rated R Wrestling. Chris Elliott says 7.25. Butterspark says 7.25. Jimmy said 8. It's a good, entertaining show. Reggie says 10. 10. 7. Ha ha days. 4.55 says Brendan. Please 200 PLN says 8. This is honestly the best Dynamite show I've seen. 8.25. Austin, I missed it. What did he say? What did he say? He said halftime scores was 20 minutes ago, but anyways, that's my guess. 10 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10. 7, 6, 7, 7, 5, 725. 7.7, 777, 667. I want Daisy's banana. I don't have a banana. I am too much of a stickler for the rules. 7.1, 7, 6, 6.5, 7, 7, 4, 2, 5, 7, 9. 7 drive-in movie theaters out of 10, says Nicole. Wow, business has exploded over here in the UK. We've learnt that much. Days, you never had my comments. Now you always do. And my friends praise me. They praise me. Do you know what the main event is tonight? Probably Elite versus Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. Here's Britt Baker. Here's Britt Baker. Britt Baker. She's a big star, isn't she, Britt Baker? They've done a great job of building her up. Her heel turn has been brilliant. Ah, so Chris Statlander's got to have a match on Friday on Rampage. I mean, in all fairness, they've set it up well. They've set it up well because it's Britt Baker that's been allowed to pick a match. I don't know why she's been allowed to pick a match. But she's been allowed to pick a match, and they're doing a handicap match with Statlander. Right, here is Penelope Ford with the bunny. So Penelope Ford making her way down. So it is Conti. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. It said, hey, baby, I got your money. Conti. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, baby, I got your money. Conti. She might be my favorite to sing that song with. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Said, hey. Look, she looks worried. I just told her not to worry. Because, baby, I got your money. Making her way down. Oh, no, not this song again. Yep. It's a thing now. It's a thing now. This is a thing. Crossbody on both of them, and she lays them both out. Hello, Shaquem. Hope you are well. Do you remember when Ford was getting mad because she was being a sexualized blonde? Wish I was a sexualized blonde. Don't know why you'd get mad about that. This is definitely Daisy's second favourite song, behind his all-time favourite song, Judas. Yes. Crazy for Judas, I am. Listen to it. It's my wake-up alarm. Judas. Everyone calls me Judas. 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 Like that. I don't know how it goes. Every time it comes on, I'll turn it down. I always thought that Velvet Sky was the most gorgeous woman, but now I think it's Tay Conti. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry, say hey. I don't know who the most gorgeous woman is, but I'm also lying and I know it's Linda. Who have you got, Brunson or Till? Probably leaning Till. Tay Conti up to her feet. What is Tay doing? She's just taking a moment. Tay going over to the corner. Here comes Penelope Ford. Knee strike by Tay Conti. Shola said the crowd has been terrible tonight. Tay goes down. They have been really quiet. Really quiet. I think they were probably expecting a more vocal, more passionate crowd than this, definitely. Tay Conti. Baby, I got your money. Absolutely. Ford looks clunky. Oh. Oh dear. Right, down in the corner. Bunny shouting some words at her. Bunny grabbing the hair and the head of Tay Conti. Penelope's got the lip. She's smeared a lipstick. Still to come, we've got the Elite, and it is a graphic that shows the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers against Jurassic Express and Lucha Bros. Even when CM Punk was out, maybe they are tired. You should sing a song about your dong. I don't know any songs about your dong. It's Tay Conti versus Ford, not Bunny. Change the graphic. They're all the same. They're all the same. Bunny, Ford, Conti. I'm starting to think they're all the same woman, but with like mirrors. I'm pretty sure. I'll change it and then the match will end. I mean, I would, but I'm fairly sure it's got to end. This ain't gonna be a 30-minute 5-star classic. 1, 2. Oh, of course, she kicks out. If you're going to sit and watch it, why buy a ticket? Just watch it at home. Are we still talking about cinemas? Wild. Ricky said, what are your thoughts on Britt Baker versus Deonna Purrazzo? That would be good. I'd be down for that. I'd like to see Jordan Grace come into AEW as well. So, yeah, I'm definitely down for Deonna Purrazzo against Britt Baker. I think that'd be a really good match. What are your thoughts on people complaining that Britt being this over with the crowd isn't working with her being a heel? I love what she's doing. Listen, if she's over, it's only because she's so good as a heel. People are loving her. So, no. And tell them to shut up. Tell them to shut up. Nothing wrong. I mean, like, Roman's a heel, and he's loved. Like, he's the biggest merch seller. like, no. Britt Baker's so... If you're so good at being a heel, you're going to be respected. Do you know what I mean? So, nah. Joaquin said, how do you think Vince will treat Dragunov? I don't know that he's going to be that bothered by Dragunov, to be honest. I don't think that's the kind of thing that floats Vince's boat. You've either got to be like big and really impressive, visually impressive, that Vince, goes crazy for you, or you've got to have like a big connection with the fans. I think he's seen, like, obviously Daniel got that connection, so he had to do something there. I think he's seen that Adam Cole's got a big, great relationship with the fans with the Adam Cole Bay Bay thing. And I'm sure there must be some numbers to back that up that Triple H has shown him as well. I don't think Elia's got that yet. So I don't think Vince is going to be that bothered by Elia. He hasn't got the size, and I don't think he'll have any he's got like, I mean, when he comes out, there's crickets, isn't there? Really, people are quite not now that he's beaten Volta. So you know, maybe there's potential there to do something with him. But I mean, I like him, I rate him, but I could see Vince not being that bothered. Of course, now I've said that this is going to be a quick little match. It's going on forever. That's Penelope Ford, not the bunny. Look, we've all agreed they're basically the same. Indian Deathlock. Couldn't do it. Like a calf slicer, they're calling it. Calf crusher. We've seen it called by AJ. Is there anyone you think deserves a push? Is there anyone that deserves a push? There's loads of people. Loads of people deserve pushes. Probably top of my list at the moment is Naomi, and I hope they are. I mean, we've seen her, at least we've seen her backstage talking to Sonya Deville. In AEW, I think they do a pretty good job of pushing people. I don't think there's really anyone that's left behind. Gutbuster. 1, 2. Oh my god. I don't mind the match. It's just, I honestly expected it to be quite quick. You watch. I'll change it. I'll change this now, and then it'll end. I'll change it, and then it'll end. Bored. This is awesome, chant. 1, 2, kick out. I thought that was going to be it then. Big strike by Conti. Against the ropes goes Tay. Bunny tries to trip her. Come on, Bunny. Bunny on the edge of the ring. Penelope pushes her into her, rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Of course it is. Of course that's the end. Of course it is. Brilliant. Well worth changing that was. So pleased to change that graphic now. Great. Gonna treat myself to some buttons. Some chocolate buttons that have been open for a few weeks. Actually, a week. Tay Conti wins. This is pretty awesome, says J Swiss. Do you think I should make myself sick in the morning? No. Who's this? What's this? Who are you? Is that Anna J? People were asking about her earlier. Oh God, it's another one. They all look the same. How am I meant to tell these women apart if they don't have different coloured hair like in WWE? I'm a man. Do you know what I mean? I'm a guy. I can't tell people apart. I need an orange-haired one, and a purple-haired one, and a blue-haired one, and all of this. They're all blonde. It just doesn't work. Bruce, shout out to you. Thunder Rosa. Hello, Thunder. She was about to get going, but... Are you trying to intimidate me? We've got Jade Cargill, we've got Nyla. Okay. Didn't look great. She got beat up. She got beat up. Jay Cargill looks great. Well, that's something that happened. Let's move on to this graphic. CM Punk is live on Rampage. That's for the shout out. Can my brother Joshua have a shout out? That would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, shout out to Joshua. I think Joey Janela should get a push, says Big Boy Chugs. Soho is going to be the Joker, says Corvid. Brony said he's definitely watching Rampage because CM Punk's on it. Moxley is going home. Joey Janela needs a push out of the window. Okay. Rampage looks like it's going to be a good card. Britt Baker taking on Chris Statlander. AEW Women's Championship. Young Bucks against Lucha Bros. Steel cage match. Asuka speaks with a great stereotypical comedy. Whenever you want a match to end, just change the graphics, says Tree Trunker. Yeah. Lauren said they're overdoing CM Punk. Do you agree? I suppose in a way, but it's hard not to, isn't it? I mean, he is someone that moves the dial. They're spending so much money on him. I mean, in a way, yes, but I get it. I get it. I don't know that he's needed to be on Rampage. I think what they did tonight was fine. Great. I mean, what else can he say, really? I feel like he's said everything that needs to be said, but... Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose. I was not expecting that match this soon. Dope. What are you using for? I don't know, bud. I don't know. I need to have a look. Tharuka said, I just woke up and I'm not watching AEW, but I came here to say hi. Morning, Tharuka. I've almost finished this bag, you know. There wasn't that many left. Eating, munching on chocolate buttons. I've got a bad habit of doing that. Will it be Jericho's last match ever? Yeah, yes or no in the chat. Yes or no. Will it be Jericho's last match? Yes or no. Simple. Let's see what people think. Yes or no. Jericho's last match. Let's see what people think. I'm going to say yes. I think they've made a big thing out of it, and I think he's going off on tour. Could he come back and get reinstated? Sure, but I think he loses. I think he loses. So, is it his last match ever? It's difficult, but I'm going to say that he loses it, so yes, it should be. Yes, no, 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 yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes, no, no, yes, yes, please, no, yes, yes, no, yes. I would say there's more no's than yeses. I would say more no's, definitely. No, no, Austin says I don't know. I think it will be. He's got other things that he wants to do, including a tour with his band, says John. Yes, yes. Create a poll. We can do that on All Out. I don't know. Win or lose, it won't be his last match, says 1987 Big Fan. No, no, maybe, no, yes, yes. I think that the chat thinks that it will not be his last match. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but I think there's enough people there that think it won't be. There was more no's than yeses. Elite versus Luchas, and Jurassics. Main event time. 20 minutes to go. Do you really need Punk, Jericho, Big Show wins in 2021, says Whackin' Uribe. I don't think Big Show needs to win. I think the QT Marshall, I could see QT Marshall. I wonder if there's a way that, surely the whole point of this feud is to get over the factory people, the Nightmare Factory. So I don't kind of get how it's going to happen, but there has to be a way that, I mean, maybe Big Show wins and then the factory people beat him up, and then it's going to be, I don't know, a handicap or so. I don't know. I don't quite know what they're trying to do. Like, surely the point would be to get over Quasimodo and all of them. So I don't know. I can't see how we're helping them. I can't see how we're getting there. We don't need to get over QT Marshall, do we? I'm pretty sure we don't. And we certainly don't need to get over Paul White. So yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. I feel like the people we need to get over are the Solo and Karamato, whatever. CM Punk, I don't mind him winning. I think he's too big, getting paid too much money to come in and just start losing. AEW is good at using veterans to bring up younger talent. They're not a threat, so is Big Show winning really bad? How is QT winning going to help? Well, I mean, at least if QT wins, then at least it makes it seem like the people that he's teaching are learning good things. Do you know what I mean? Like, that whole faction is if it's being led by someone that's just going to be losing, then what is he teaching? Are they all losers? If he's a loser, are they all losers? Are they just a loser faction? Like, you'd have to think there's some talent in there, some people they really believe in. And we know that QT Marshall is one of the head trainers. So if the head trainer can't step in there and win a match, I kind of think, like, doesn't really reflect very well on the group. But it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't directly benefit them. So you could have Big Show win the first one and then build to something that's going to, like, maybe Big Show and mystery partners versus the Nightmare Family in, like, a blood and guts type match. That could be fun. And then the Nightmare Family win. So that could be fun. And then it would be like, oh, who's going to partner Paul White kind of a thing. So, yeah, that could be fun. But I don't think they're going for that. I don't quite know what they're going for with Big Show QT Marshall. Unless it's just to give Paul White a win. I don't know. But I kind of feel like he doesn't need it. He's a commentator. He's going to have the odd match. And he's had his career. So put over Solo and those ones. He's a giant. I don't like that legends come to AEW to lose and put over talent, says Big Boy Dally. Christian says, are you going to play the AEW game? I'm very interested in it. I am very interested in it. The console one I'm interested in. Yeah. Because I think it's going to be really fun. Here's the Bucks, and we're seeing the steel cage is already set up. They are ready to go. They are ready. They could do all out right now. Did you see that cage? It might just be me, but it looks like the corner things go over the ring posts. I don't know. That looks a bit weird. Don't know. We'll have a look. We'll have a look at it on Sunday. I feel that legends, if they want to wrestle, they should put over talent. Maybe win a match here or there for storyline purposes, but mostly put over talent, says Shark DPR. Now I want a faction called the Loser Faction. Moldy Spoon said, when does that console game come out? Well, look, if it's Christmas, they're laughing because we know that the WWE game isn't out until like February, March time. So, yeah, we know that they've had theirs pushed back a little. AEW doesn't need more factions. When Daze says he'll play a wrestling game, he won't. Do you know, I was thinking this. It's funny you should say that. I was thinking this about how I either buy things and never do anything with them. Because I've got a second microphone that I never use. But I bought it in case there was any problems with this one. And now there are problems with this one. And I still haven't changed it. And I said I would. And I never did. And I said I'd buy the CM Punk shirt. Had every intention. But because the site was busy, never did it. Said I'd buy a new Starbridge shirt. Never did it. Said I'd buy the NXT UK belt on discount. And never got around to doing it. Never did it. Said that I would play Battlegrounds on the chat. Never did it. I downloaded it. I've never played it. Never played it. Never even opened it. Never done anything with it. I should play that. I could quite happily just grab my Switch and just start. I mean, I don't really ever use my Switch anymore. But I could quite happily start playing that. Nope. And yeah, I have every intention of playing the AEW console game. I will also be the first to say, probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. I bought a little capture card so that I could do gameplay on the channel. Never used it. Never used it. It's not a thing. Never used it. I'm bad for that. I'm really bad for that. I was going to get a Thug Rose shirt. Never bought one. I was going to get a UFC shirt. Never bought one. I'm amazed that I actually do anything, in all fairness. Daze has got a Nintendo Switch sitting in a drawer. I do. It is in a drawer. It's next to my bed in my drawer. Like, the top drawer next to my bed is where my Switch is. And literally, when I go into bed, I'm rubbish at going straight to sleep. Like, I will buy that compendium. I will buy that compendium, and then I can start, like, reading that on my phone. And then as I start to get tired, I'll just go to sleep. But I'm rubbish at just going to bed and, right, that's it, I'm asleep. So, I did go through a little phase last year of playing Switch. And then as I was getting tired, I'd be like, right, yeah, put that away, and then I'd go. I always have to do something, like, at the end of the day. And at the moment, it would probably be reading the Walking Dead stuff. So, £18, I can see. That is getting bought. That is getting bought! But I still ain't got the CM Punk shirt. I still ain't got a Thug Rose shirt. I still ain't got a UFC shirt. Just awful. My brother Joshua says hello and thank you. Can you give my other brother Randall a shout out? There we go. Shout out to you, Randall. Shout out to Cameron, to Joshua, to Randall, to the whole Walker family. Big fan of your crisps. Ben said, Days, I hope we see CM Punk versus Chris Jericho in AEW because their matches in WWE were awesome. Their Chicago Street Fight was actually on the network live channel the other day. Very cool. Right, we're well underway. We've got 10 minutes left to go. Days was betting too much and lost all his money, and now he can't afford the shirts. It's true. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I didn't. Do you know, I did put some money down. I bet £50 because I'm normally quite good with bets. I said during the Jake Paul fight, I thought it would go the distance. Jake Paul would win on decision. So I'm normally, not all the time, but I'm normally not bad. Soon as money's involved, nope. Soon as money's involved, no, you're wrong. Oh, I think this person, no. Oh. But I've only bet £1. I don't care. Nope, you're losing. Oh. I'd only bet £1. Well, you've lost £1 now, haven't you? Oh. What if I bet £10? Well, now you've lost £10. Oh, God. So I lost £50 in total. And I was like, no. This isn't the world for me. So I've lost £50 betting. That's it. I did win a bet, though. I won a bet, and I managed to get to £75. I bet 50, and I got to 75. And I should have cashed out, guys. But you know what it's like. You dream of being a millionaire. I mean, granted, it was a long way to go. But I had big dreams. And it's all gone. It all went. I mean, in fairness, I got a good month out of it. Good month. So, do you know what I mean? I don't begrudge it, but still stings. Do you just forget about it, or are you lazy when it comes to that stuff? Bit of everything, to be honest. A bit of everything. It's a little bit of, like, I think there's a bit of genuinely wanting them. Like, I genuinely wanted that CM Punk shirt when it came out. I still think it looks really cool. But I think the hype has settled down now. Like, you know, the week that he came out and showed off the new shirt, it was the biggest, best thing in the world. So I wanted it. Whereas now, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really feel that, like, urge to get it as much anymore. I still love it. I still think it's a fantastic design. And I could still get it and wear it for, like, AEW streams. So, do you know what I mean? There's, like, it's not as if I'm going to, like, buy it and never wear it. So I could still end up getting it, but it's just the urgency has gone. And, you know, after this, I'll be making graphics and looking into things, and I just don't get around to doing it. And then when I do remember to do it, it's like, depends how long it's been. So it's a bit of a mixture of a few different things, but it won't surprise me if I end up getting that CM Punk shirt. Super kick by Nick Jackson. Super kick party. Come on, Penta, says Heather. We know that Heather's wearing a Penta shirt right now. She's probably got her Penta mask on. She's got her face painted as well to look like Penta. She's got the gloves like this. And anytime her partner talks, she's like, Ciero, miero, like that. And he's like, sorry. I know not to disturb you during AEW. German suplex by Luchasaurus. Have you heard about Daphne? What, the woman helper from Frasier? Yes. Days, I like the AEW thumbnail. You didn't include any superstars due to copyright stuff. Yes. These CM Punk shirts are going anywhere from $250 to $300. What? Why? They're only £22. Pfft. Who's the most famous person you've ever met? One, two. Oh, kick out. I don't know. That's hard. I mean, I'll tell you the names I'm thinking. I'm thinking Robert Plant, but I never actually met him, but I was like right by him at Starbridge train station. Would have been nothing for me to have just got a picture or something, but I never did. So technically I might not be able to count it, but he is the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, so I'm definitely counting it. Amy Winehouse, I've told that story. I've met a few football players like Luke Shaw, who now plays for England. I met him because he came into the Southampton store I worked at and bought an Xbox. So I met him that way. Luke Shaw. So a few footballers. I've met a few wrestlers. I've met like Randy, Daniel, Bryan, Cena. I suppose it'd be Cena, wouldn't it? I mean, when you say met, I've told that story. I was outside a hotel in Birmingham and they all just came out. Cena came over, was like here signing some kids things, and he was dealing with like the kids stuff. And I didn't want to interrupt because obviously he's doing something. And as soon as he signed the last one over there, he ended up walking off. So, again, did I meet him? I don't know. He was here. I mean, I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Young Bucks win. Young Bucks win. Obviously, I mean, I've been in a... I'm surely you've all seen that picture of me in the giant figure box with Braun Strowman. So that was a weird one. So I met Braun and I met Cesaro. Obviously, a fair few musicians over the year. Peter Andre, Catherine Jenkins. The guy that did War of the Worlds, Jeff Wayne. I was in a taxi with him. Yeah, there's been a few over the years, actually. That's the one I was scouting for girls. I've chatted with them. You know, they did that. She's so lovely. She's so lovely. I don't know if you have it in America. It's a big song over here. I don't know. It's quite a few. If I was to sit down and actually think about everyone I met, there's quite a few over the years. It's the benefit of working in an entertainment store. Take care of the dinosaur. Kenny has come down and he's telling them to take care of the dinosaur. The dinosaur gets put through a table. Oh, it's carnage. Omega has dyed his hair. Yes. You're not even in contention anymore. Here's Christian Cage. Spear by Christian. So, Christian unloading on Kenny Omega. You missed a super chat, did I? Super chat. Cow? Hello, Cow. How you doing? I did. It was only Cow. It was only Cow. Only Cow W. Cal said, prayers for Daphne from TNA. She was on Instagram Live with a... She was on Instagram Live with a gun pointed at her chest. What? What do you mean? I don't even know what this is. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what's that mean? Bring what down? Oh, they're bringing the cage down. For those concerned about Daphne, emergency services have been contacted and sent to her most recent address. Does anyone know where to find Daphne? She's on Instagram right now. She doesn't seem okay. Okay. So you're saying that she had a gun held to her own chest. I thought someone, I mean, like, obviously that's horrific anyway, but I thought you meant someone had broken in and was holding her, like, hostage or something. Well, apparently the services have been contacted. I mean, I must admit I don't know much about her anyway. So I can't say I know much about her or can give any kind of backstory or anything. I don't know what the concerns are or the issues are, but it seems like certainly seems like it's what the wrestling world's talking about at the moment. Sending positive energy to Daphne. Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp 13 minutes ago said that emergency services have been sent over. I don't know any more than that. I'm just seeing a lot of people talking about it. Right, they've handcuffed... the cage has come down and they're using kendo sticks. Cal W, shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate the update. Retribution said, I'm going to order that CM Punk t-shirt, but the Ringer version is sold out. The normal version looks classier. I don't know anything either, but I am a bit concerned. I'm reading and keeping an eye out for info. So much is going on right now, says Brony. Well, at the moment, in AEW, the cage has come down and they've just got kendo sticks and they're just beating up people. I mean, they do this too much. They really do this too much, AEW. It's hard to care about this when you've already seen a few brawls throughout the rest of the show. And, you know, it gets to the point where you make a joke out of, like, having a brawl counter. Days, I will... I don't understand what you mean. Where is Edge when you need him? Days, I'm now watching Total Divas, says Edward. Show is done, says Justin. There we go. Right, end of the show. Get in your scores. Burn It Down says 6. CCSYT said the brawls are a bit much. Brendan says 4. Joe Lewis says 2. Sergio, shout out to you. I remember the video where you opened the door at a wrestling shop and then you saw that cardboard stand here brawn. Yeah, it was good, man. Whole Truthy says 1. Shola says 7. Anna said it was a strange way to end the show. The crowd were dead at the end. Like, if the crowd were there, like, desperately wanting, if the crowd were there, like, you know, throwing hate at a Mega or anything, that might have made it work. But the fact that the crowd was so, like, stone cold silent, yeah, it really didn't help things. That crowd were really quiet at times. CCSYT says 7.5. J Swiss says 7.5. Future Comp says 5. 1987 Big Fan says 6. 5.5 says Rated R. 7 says Austin. 7.5 says Justin. Archer J14 says 725. C Rayford says 6.5. 7.5, 5, 7, 6. 825 says KFC Bruyan. 7.5 says CCSYT. Esteban says 7. It was definitely a go home. Hayden says 7. Legend Killer says 7. Austin says 7. Shola said the crowd were dead all night. 7. I reckon the community score is about a 7. Louis said 6 out of 10. Crowd were dead. Too many heel attacks, and it ruined the main event. Do you know what? I'm going to agree with Louis. I'm going to agree with Louis. I think that for me, this was not a well, I think for me, this was okay. I didn't hate the show. I was not sat here, like, hoping the show was going to desperately end. I think for me, 6.5 is average. And I have to say that this was, for me, just a little bit below average. I think that, I agree. The crowd were dead, and I think that was a bit of a problem throughout the show. I thought the first match was all right, pretty good. Santana and Ortiz against FTR. I actually think some of the matches tonight were not that bad. I thought some of the matches were pretty decent. Some of the promos were great. The CM Punk segment felt quite big, but yeah, I just kind of think, like, this was just a bit average. I mean, maybe the CM Punk moment still has a bit of impact, but I don't want to inflate the score because of that, because, you know, CM Punk's in AEW now, and we knew he was on the show. He did get attacked. He did do a GTS. I feel like that's the peak of the show for me. Yeah, the main event didn't quite do it. The attack after was a bit strange, I do agree. Crowd were dead. I kind of feel, I can see why people are at 7s. For me, 6.5 is average, and I'd say this is just a little bit below, but not bad. Not bad. And, you know, go home show. Go home show. and we build towards All Out. So All Out just around the corner. That should be a lot of fun. Their recent pay-per-views have been very good. So I've got high hopes for All Out. Obviously, we'll have to see if Daniel Bryan's going to be there, or Ruby Soho, or what's going to be in store for this weekend. But definitely a lot of excitement around. Obviously, a bit of concern about Daphne as well. Keep an eye on that as the night plays out. I'm sure there'll be an update or something as we, as news emerges over the next few hours. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Right, awesome, guys. Appreciate the support as always. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I know we're doing football on the football channel. We got SmackDown on Friday and UFC on Saturday. All Out on Sunday. So plenty on the way. Really appreciate the support as always. Hope you had fun. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.